real? Oh, no. Let's go.
Boston
State of OH. Today. In Berkeley, California. You got it. This one's for three. AJ Hawk, $5,000. USA, USA, USA.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our spooky humble abode, the Thunderdome. on this NFL Week 9 kickoff Thursday, October 30th, 2025. This program begins now.
Football!
It is spooky, though, and football kicks off Week 9 of its NFL season this evening as the Baltimore Ravens, with Lamar Jackson back at quarterback, go down to his hometown of Miami to take on the Dolphins as 7.5-point favorites. Now, Lamar Jackson spoke very candidly this week about kicking all the bullshit out of the locker room. Okay, if we're winning, maybe it's not a problem. We're losing. We need to lock in a little bit more. He was doing that whenever he wasn't even playing. Now, remember, had a hamstring injury a couple weeks back. Everybody saw him on the sideline not going to the game. They thought, Lamar Jackson, this guy quit on the team. This guy quit on the team. Turns out that ended up being about a month-long hamstring injury, including a bye week and then a missed game post that. Now he's back on a Thursday night in Miami in a must-win game for this Baltimore Ravens team. And everybody thinks that they're going to must-win and will win. The sportsbooks still have the Baltimore Ravens as the favorites to win the AFC North, even though they're 2-5 or whatever the hell it is at this point. But they're going to rattle off a bunch of wins, what the sportsbooks thinks, and the reason is because Lamar Jackson is special, and maybe the defense has figured out how to play football. Patrick Ricard being back for the Baltimore Ravens at fullback is a massive ordeal for the way they operate as well. Will tonight just be an absolute clobbering of the Miami Dolphins? Let's go to one half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys at Bubba Gumpino. He wore his full Dolphins costume today. This is not Halloween. This is Victory Gumpy heading into a prime time matchup against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Last week, you guys played the best game you guys have played in a long, long time. Vibes obviously immaculate. Can't enjoy an entire victory week, because the game's on Thursday, not on Sunday. You got 4 good days of celebration here. What did you see from the boys last week against the Falcons that make you think, you know what? Why not the Miami Dolphins going forward? And how do you like your chances against the Baltimore Ravens, old Gumps?
All season, we couldn't stop the run and we couldn't run the football. Last week, we did both at a very high level. Got to keep doing that. Let me tell you about the last time the Ravens came into Miami on Thursday night.
Ooh.
They're about 12.5-point favorites. Everyone said we were going to get crushed. Boys are going to get it done tonight. We're riding this momentum. The Fins are going right now. That was the best game I've seen them play all 3 phases last week in a long, long time.
All right, well, thanks for telling us about it. We do appreciate you telling us all about what the Dolphins did last time against the Baltimore Ravens on Thursday night. Feels different just strictly because Lamar Jackson being back and the vibes and kind of the culture with the Baltimore Ravens are currently at. Obviously, a lot of people in Baltimore, and I don't want to speak for the entire fan base, but it feels like Harbaugh's potentially on, hey, we got to win. And Lamar Jackson seemingly with the rest of the locker room and the culture, hey. We got to win. And on defensive side, it's, hey, are we playing Baltimore Ravens football or not over here? I couldn't even imagine the conversations that have taken place behind closed doors over there with the amount of outside pressure that could be creeping into that entire beautiful castle they got over there as a practice facility. But tonight's a huge one in prime time on Amazon Prime with Kirk and Al and Kaylee Hartung on the call, Carissa Thompson, Richard Sherman, who... Don't look now. I think he's going to be in studio here soon.
Okay.
I do believe Richard Sherman's coming through the Thunderdome. Shout out to Fitz and Witt and then Tony Gonzalez as well. They got a great show, and I think tonight is going to provide a lot of opportunity. They're going to be down in Miami. It's supposed to be 80 degrees. Clear skies down in Miami. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Feels like we're going to have a good game tonight.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited to see Lamar again. It's one of those things you kind of forget about, especially when he, misses games. Ravens have a slow start, and then you forget what Lamar can do. And you mentioned Patrick Ricard. AQ Shipley came in here yesterday bitching and moaning about his skeleton, but also about the fact that the Ravens now with Patrick Ricard has completely changed their entire team. But I'll tell you what about Gumpy's point. You go 1-5 to 3-5 in 6 days. All of a sudden, those Miami Dolphins do look like they're building something because, they beat the Atlanta Falcons and, Kirk Cousins, but that defense is very good, and they hung 30 on them. So all of a sudden, hold on, Miami might be up to something as well.
And Baltimore's defense obviously has not been performing that fantastically, which is very abnormal for the Baltimore Ravens as a whole. And you look at their records, you don't have a lot of wins at the top of this thing. Okay? You don't have a lot of wins. 2-5, 2-6. Thursday night, prime time. The NFL fresh off its biggest ass weekend in 55 years. Now we got this crap on Thursday night. Is how you could view that. If you only look at the record. If you only look at the record.
Sure.
Okay, if you only look at 2-5, 2-6.
We don't do that, though.
No, you got to be deeper than that.
Yeah.
You got to have some depth. You got to have culture, which is why I can't wait to show you one half of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys. What's the line saying about tonight in your eyes? What's the percentage of money on who? Ladies and gentlemen, brand new AP Mario Tone.
Yeah, we're cooking up something for tomorrow for Hallows Eve, so we got to get in the spirit. But for tonight, 7.5 across the board. The Ravens are the favorites on the road. 68% of the money is on the Ravens. If that was earlier in the season when it was just a historically bad sign, if the public money was over 60% on you, but this last week it went 5 and 6. If you 60+% of the bets, 5 and 6 last week. The teams were the Chiefs on Monday Night Football were getting 69%, and they absolutely blew them out. So I don't know if that's a bad thing anymore. Ravens tonight at Dolphins 7.5.
Okay, so obviously everybody's going to love the Ravens here because Lamar Jackson's back.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you're going to. And also, what do we think of whenever we think of Miami? We think of McDaniel walking down that tunnel with his little off-white shoe tags, just kind of bopping around while he's going on. We love McDaniel. He was awesome for football. Yeah. He is still awesome for football. And obviously his brain is kind of all over the NFL right now with the motions and the shifts and how much he changed and transformed what defenses have to do pre-snap, during snap, and immediately after snap. He was really an innovator, I think everybody would say, which is why he is and was and became the head coach for the Miami Dolphins. But boy, it was a lot more fun when they were good.
Yeah,
certainly. The McDaniel experience was a lot more fun whenever they were good. Hopefully, maybe prime time, we get the battle of the best here. Lamar at his best, McDaniel and Tua at their best. Does he have a visor on tonight? Do we know if Tua is wearing a visor like he was on Sunday?
Running it back with the visor. 1-0 with the visor, he said. I'm doing it. Boys want me to keep wearing it. I'm going to keep doing it.
That's very smart. Okay, Ty, last night, World Series. Felt like we're talking about Canada's baseball team, maybe handling the 18-inning game a lot better than the Dodgers. Is that what we're seeing on the field?
Yeah, it certainly looks like that. Dodgers still look a little bit sleepy. The Blue Jays look like they got a lot of juice. First pitch of the game. Davis Schneider, leadoff homer off Blake Snell. That's okay, though. That happens sometimes. Boom, third pitch of the game. Vladdy Guerrero lines one into the Dodgers bullpen.
Jeez, that's a pot.
Yeah, I mean, literally the worst start imaginable. Couldn't. I guess two homers and 2 pitches. Maybe you could argue would be worse, but same deal. But then the real story of the game is after that, Blue Jays rookie pitcher Trey Yesavage. He set a bunch of records last night, just absolutely dominated the Dodgers. He threw 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. He did give up a homer early and then settled down after that. 12 strikeouts. That's the big thing. He is the first pitcher in World Series history to have a 12 strikeout, 0 walk game, and he also set the World Series rookie record for strikeouts in a game with 12. That is a record that has stood since 1949. Those are stats courtesy of Hembo. This guy's unbelievable. Another kind of a fun stat here. Trey Savage, he made his debut on September 15th. Jeez. So he has not been in the big leagues for very long at all. His base salary this year is $760,000. On the other side, Blake Snell, who, big free agent signing for the Dodgers, his base salary this year is $26 million. So they're not expecting this guy to do this, and he has one of the best performances in the history of the World Series. Blue Jays win 6-1, and now they're going back to Toronto with a 3-2 lead.
Did you say $26 million on loser?
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez. That's $53 million on loser down there in the bayou. Now, Governor Jeff Landry obviously went very viral and became a mega subject of conversation due to a press conference where he chit-chatted about the future of the LSU head coaching vacancy.
The first question is absolutely correct. We are not going down a failed path. And I wanted to tell you something. This is a pattern.
Okay.
The guy that's here now that wrote that contract cost Texas A&M $70-something million. Right now, we got a $53 million liability. We are not doing that again. And you know what? I believe that we're going to find a great coach. I mean, maybe we'll let President Trump pick it. He loves winners. I'm not going to be picking the next coach. But I can promise you, we're going to pick a coach, and we're going to make sure that that coach is successful, and we're going to make sure that he's compensated properly, and we're going to put metrics on it, because I'm tired of rewarding failure in this country and then leaving the taxpayers on the foot, to foot the bill. So, yeah, I absolutely. Who's that? No. I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it. I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee, and they're going to go find us a coach. Because wait. I want to hold on. One real quick thing on that. Because here's what y'all reporters need to do. Y'all need to start looking at who represents all these people, like these agents. You know what's interesting? If I'm not mistaken, Woodward's agent, Kelly's agent, the Texas A&M, they're all the same agent. Like, you realize if I would be, I don't know how many sports writers we got here today? Just you. We should have a bunch. Okay? Like, this is ridiculous. Lawyers would be disbarred for the way these agents act and the way they're able to represent. In fact, there's no doubt, they may even represent some of the players now. Like, it's really time for the NCAA to put on some guardrails in college sports. Because, and it's fine. We don't need the guardrails. If big billionaires want to spend all that kind of money, no problem. But if I got to go find $53 million from Kemp, it's not going to be a pleasant conversation. I'm just telling you. I know. And I think that that's important as well. Y'all should start looking into that.
Ladies and gentlemen, said Governor Jeff Landry.
Yeah, Governor!
How are you, Governor Landry? You really stirred the pot here today, Governor. You really stirred the pot.
It's ridiculous. It really is, Pat. Thank you for having me this morning. You know, the sad part is there's two groups of people that seem to not be, we're not talking about in this equation. One, it's the players. It's the great players that we brought to LSU and the great players that are LSU Tigers right now and that have to operate under all of this chaos. And I tell you, I feel for them. I really, really do. We want to make sure that those boys get back on the field. We want them playing football for the love of the game. And then the second group is the fans. Because the thing that really started this off was Saturday night after the Texas A&M loss. I'm laying in bed and I'm like, this is a mess. Telling my wife, because the worst time for the Louisiana Governors when the LSU football team is losing, okay? It's a bad day for me or whoever the governor is. And she says, do you know the Board of Supervisors raised the ticket prices on Friday? I was like, what? Yeah, for next year's. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Because what fills Tiger stadiums are not billionaires. What fills Tiger stadiums are nurses, plant workers, welders, fitters, truck drivers. Those are the people that go to Tiger Stadium to be entertained, to watch a great game of football, and we should not be piling all of these millions upon tens of millions of dollars of contracts on the backs of them.
Okay, so, Governor, thank you for saying that, and I think your fans will be appreciative of that. College football fans will be appreciative of that, and thank you for your time. Let's kind of get into this a little bit more with everything you just said, and then you said at your press conference. So the governor runs the state schools. Is that accurate? So ultimately, you are boss at LSU. Is that a fair assessment? Because I don't know. This is a legitimate question whenever I say this.
Yeah, so we've got a number of four-year universities in the state of Louisiana, and each LSU has their own board. It's called the Board of Supervisors. It's appointed by the governor under staggered terms. So really, I'm the one that appoints them. They then appoint the president and the AD, and the decisions that are made at the university are really made by the board, but there are appointees that represent me. That's pretty much the same way I think it happens around the state, around the country. I know that's how it happens in Texas as well. The governor's in charge of appointing the Board of Regents of, say, A&M and UT.
Okay, so you have the Board of Supervisors there at LSU. You said in your press conference that they will either find a committee to find the coach or they will select a coach. In that entire process, are you in there at all? Because I think people were saying, because you said in there, I'm not picking a coach. You said, I'm not picking a coach, but other people will pick the coach.
I'm not.
Now, do you feel, though, that immediately upon you speaking about it, everybody thinks to themselves, Governor Landry wants to pick a coach? That is kind of what people get worried about. That is not what you were saying at all, right?
No. Listen, emphatically, I am not picking the coach. That is not my job. The only reason I'm really involved, Pat, is because this contract that currently is between the state of Louisiana, the Louisiana State University system, and Brian Kelly leaves the taxpayers of the state on the bill. There's misinformation out there. People are saying, oh, no, the taxpayers aren't liable. They're not reading the contract. On Sunday, I had a meeting with the lawyers as they were talking about whether or not Brian Kelly was terminated, whether they were going to fire him. And all I cared about were the taxpayers of our state. And that contract binds the state of Louisiana. If we have to pay $53 million and somebody else doesn't step up to foot that bill, the state of Louisiana has to foot that bill. That is in the contract.
Okay, so on that note, as you know now, I assume you were told this, Texas A&M's coach, Jimbo, has an agent, and Brian Kelly has an agent. Now, I think Brian Kelly's agent potentially also works with Scott Woodward. Let's talk about that, the athletic director, because you would assume at most places, the athletic director would be the one that's picking the coach. You emphatically saying absolutely not. Is it because of the contract and what you learned about what he had done in the past, or is it strictly because we can't have a situation look like this again with the $53 million? Because I think a lot of people have said Scott's the athletic director for a reason. You're going to have people that aren't in athletics now making an athletics decision. Do you view it that way? And why do you think that is kind of how it's going to go?
Hey, look, let's unpackage that. Let's talk about number one, there's a number of bad contracts that seem to have followed Scott Woodward. Okay. Number two, his agent and Brian Kelly's agent are the same agent. That's something else that's misinformation out there. I believe that Armstrong represents them both. I don't even know if Armstrong represents some of our players. In the legal profession, that is called a conflict of interest. How can I trust my athletic director, whose agent also represents some of the candidates that are out there? You would think that if the Board of Supervisors gave Woodward a list of 5 coaches that are looking to come to LSU, and 3 or 2 or 1 of those coaches is the same agent that he has, who do you think is going to make that list? That is a problem in college sports. Look, in the NFL, those agents are capped at 3%. I think in the MLB, they are. In the NCAA, there's no cap. And these are kids that we're dealing with. These are young people. Pat, it's time for the NCAA to start putting some guardrails around all this money. They are ruining one of the best sports in America.
Okay.
No, I mean, college football is the quintessential of football in America. And there's no guardrails.
I love that you are the Louisiana governor and you love college football. Feels like that should be a prerequisite. Feels like that probably should be in a lot of those states down there in the SEC because, you know, it is different down there with how you're raised and every place is a cult. I mean, that is literally how it is down there because there's no professional sports. What you were saying about the guardrails for all this money, you know, that is something that I think everybody that is involved with college football says, yes, we need that. We need that. But they all say, DC needs to do something. You guys are saying the NCAA, but everybody that's in the sport says we need DC to put some federal ruling into this thing if we actually wanted to make it work. Will this be something that maybe Governor Jeff Landry maybe takes on, maybe takes on with the back pocket?
Well, look, I'm hoping that we can create a contract with a great coach at LSU that can be the template. Maybe that's what needs to break in order for somebody to come over here and say, listen, we're going to start building contracts based on performance-based. I have no problem compensating these coaches, even at the level that we're talking about, as long as we're winning. The problem with the NCAA and Congress, look, I've been in Congress. Look, politicians love to kick the can down the road. It makes me a little different. I don't like it. I like to step on the can. I like to solve the problem. But maybe the NCAA and Congress should hold a meeting and say, okay, who's in charge here? But the NCAA could absolutely, there's no reason that they cannot step in and create the guardrails. They got great lawyers. They pay them a lot of money. Okay? Look through the federal guidelines. Look at what the Supreme Court says and come up with some guardrails. Okay. Somebody just has to step up.
Yeah, somebody has to step on a can, you know, instead of cans kind of going back and forth here. And if we know anything about both parties, just as somebody that's not been involved in D.C. or in the NCAA, outside looking in, not a lot of hope in either of you kind of getting it done, but hopefully that could be different. Hopefully that could be different, Governor Jeff Landry. We can hope that's the case. Last question here. You just talked about you're not worried about paying a guy or a woman or a coach, whoever you hire, an amount of money if they're winning. I would like to let you know, and you probably know this, the guy that did the Texas A&M deal, that agent over there, he reps a lot of coaches. He's got a lot of coaches. I think a couple of the coaches that you probably want down there in Baton Rouge are going to be in there. When you say setting the template, what do you mean by that? Legitimately, what do you mean by that?
Well, legitimately, I think that everyone is in agreement here in the state of Louisiana that the next coach that we hire is going to have a patently different contract. If that agent can't see what's coming down the pipe in the way that, look, these big name coaches, they're big names because they win. What are they afraid of? Right? If you're the best, you shouldn't have to worry. You say, guess what? I'm putting my reputation on the line. And when I win, this is how much money I want. There's no guarantee. This sets it. The way the contracts are structured now tells a guy, listen, you know, in 5 years, he might get tired of doing it. He's like, he doesn't have to worry about coaching because he's like, look, As long as I kind of go through the motions, I get another 5 years at $10 million a year. That's not a bad gig, Pat. If y'all boys over there are giving great entertainment to ESPN and we don't enjoy watching y'all, which we absolutely do, guess what happens? You lose sponsors. That's the free market.
All right, I appreciate where your head's at. Yep. I think you're up against it, though, Governor. I just want to let you know, I think you're up against it. I appreciate the fact that you're in a position, though, to potentially drive some change in all these things to make our sports world even better. But I think it's a freight train that's already kind of been run away, Governor.
Well, I know, but Pat, listen, every one of you all, okay, all of the sports commentators, everyone who's in sports, and even former coaches have been consistently saying this.
And current coaches.
And like if it's
current coaches too.
Yeah.
Governor. Yes. Everybody's saying somebody's got to do it, though, Governor. Yeah. Somebody needs to kick. Hey, somebody step on a can, Governor. That's what.
Step on the can.
You're the man.
We're stepping on the can.
Hey, we appreciate you joining us and explaining yourself a little bit more. It's crazy that the taxpayers, the state, are on the hook for that contract if somebody doesn't pay it. I wonder how normal that is. That's insane to hear, actually. And I can see why the governor would be like, whoa, this guy, he's got ruins a Saturday in Baton Rouge. We lose to Texas A&M by 50. This guy ruins everybody's life. And then we got to up taxes to pay. Who did the contract? Yeah, that is a hilarious turn of events. We appreciate you looking into it. Hopefully you can drive some change to make sure this sport that you're saying could potentially be getting ruined. Ratings are only up and to the right, Governor. Things are only getting better. Just the back end needs cleaned up. Good luck out there in your fight on that and everything else. And also gator hunt. Good luck out there with the gator hunt.
Listen, come hunt with us, Pat. Thank you so much. We love watching y'all guys.
You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Governor Jeff Dahn.
Yeah, Governor!
That guy's a character.
Certainly.
That guy is an absolute character. Yeah. He is just himself.
Like what he's saying, though.
As you see him is how he is in every room that I've seen him. And Gumpy's seen him in a couple different rooms. We go down to LSU, obviously. And I say this again. Anytime you can go somewhere with Coach Saban, you know, when he's maybe won a national championship there or 6 of them. Sure. Okay, any of those types of things. And you can just kind of happen to just kind of sidecar that thing, you should do that. And we got to do that at LSU. You know, I met some of these people that are potentially going to have to step up so taxpayers don't have to pay $53 million or whatever the case is, because Coach Saban, obviously old friends with a lot of the people there. That's where before he goes to Alabama or before he goes to Miami, he's at LSU, wins a national championship there. And then the way they talk about Governor Jeff Landry, okay, because that was in the middle of having a live tiger on the sideline. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was a big conversation. Governor Jeff Landry was governor, then he was out, and then Governor Jeff Landry back in, and then Governor Jeff Landry said, my childhood, some of my best moments with my family when that what's the tiger's name?
Mike. Is it Mike?
Mike,
yeah.
Mike the tiger will roar. Oh, every place will go crazy. I want a tiger back on the sideline. And they're like, well, we can't do that. Obviously, we got Mike outside the stadium in his own sanctuary, but inside the stadium, they said because of the loud and everything, they don't like, we want a tiger, though, don't we? Let's get a tiger. And that was happening the week game day was going down there. So I literally just learned of this man's existence, and also a governor just being like, I don't care. I want a live tiger out here. And then inevitably, live tiger was out there.
There.
Now, there was full conversation about how many potential tigers there were, because there was protests happening that could have potentially stopped tigers from getting to sidelines. So I think there was potentially a situation happening. But Governor Jeff Landry, the people that I talked to in Louisiana, and I don't think it matters what the rest of the country thinks or anybody, the people that I talked to, they were talking about Jeff Landry, like, hey, Jeff's his own guy, but Jeff gets shit done. Mm-hmm. Like that is literally what Jeff does. And I think he takes a lot of pride in the state of Louisiana. You can hear the way he talks, to hear the way he acts. Every single time he talks like that. And are we, as the rest of the world, going to agree with everything that the governor of Louisiana has to say or how he operates? I would doubt it. Louisiana is its own country. Okay, they're not the only state that's their own country, but Louisiana is. I mean, we purchased it. I don't even have to go back to the entirety of it all, but Louisiana is a special place. It is a dynamic place. It is a unique place. And it's like, I appreciate the fact that his big thing was like, we got to pay for this guy? As what, he taking his Mercedes back? I don't think so. That ain't gonna happen.
No consequences for the guy that hired him.
Yeah.
Or Jimbo.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so we know the guy that represented Jimbo out there in Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And we know that he doesn't represent Brian Kelly.
No.
And so whenever he was, look it up. If I'm mistaken, this guy everywhere. And now this guy is everywhere when they talk about Jimmy Sexton and representing a coach's business and, hey, who's going where and everything like that. But there was a moment of clarity in there that had to be made, like, hey, Jimmy ain't. Now, this guy, though, he also has got Nussmeier, I think, allegedly. The Trace Armstrong. Yeah, so you're talking about.
And that's what he.
And the governor's reading through these contracts. Who negotiated? This guy got AD, coach, and quarterback. We're getting ahead.
But also to his point
thought.
where he said, like, he's not making the hire. He's responsible for the 2 biggest buyouts ever in college football history. The AD is.
Yes, Woodward. Yeah, crazy stuff. All right, well, I'm excited to hear what people say he was wrong about in that conversation we just had with him. And then that goes right to what Jeopardy said last night, which I guess, this all kind of came together within the last 25 minutes, and we didn't piece it together. But I've had the incredible opportunity to do a lot of things. The boys and I have gotten an opportunity to be in some wild places. We made an appearance last night in a world that we're not supposed to be in. Please run it, Foxy.
More than a football player for 600.
A former All-Pro punter, he's had some controversial guests on his self-named ESPN talk show. Aaron? It was McAfee. That's right.
Thank you, Aaron. Okay, thank you, Aaron. Controversial guests. I think they were trying to say, hey, we don't love everything this show is about without completely burying me. Like the show, I think they were trying to balance that. We would like to say to the Jeopardy people, thank you for letting us in your world.
Yeah, Jeopardy.
That's a huge deal. I shit my pants.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
I get it.
I got a text from somebody, Jeopardy. And I was like, man, I'm missing tonight's show, dude. And they're like, no, you were on there. I'm like, what? It was, that's a wild moment for us, dude. That is. And then we just have the governor of Louisiana. And he goes, we need to start fixing this. The NCAA can do this. How? I don't know. I don't know if they can.
No, I remember, like, we had Charlie Baker in, like, maybe a little over a year ago in studio, and like you said, like, that was his whole thing. He was like, yeah, we kind of need the government to spearhead this. Like, we can't really do this. So it seems like you said, the NCAA and, DC are kind of just pointing at each other saying, hey, you guys need to fix it, and you need to fix it now. So I don't know if it's going to get done anytime soon.
I have no idea either, but good luck to all parties.
Yep.
It's a lot to get figured out.
Yeah. You got this.
You got TV contracts, you got coaches contracts, you got players contracts now. You got billions and billions and billions of dollars, let alone the hundreds and thousands of tickets that are just sold in some places. It's so much, such a massive entity. Just be like, we can corral it. Let alone when you start tossing in all the others, basketball.
Yeah.
Women's softball down there in SEC and I guess Big 12, right? Because
the
whole thing. So, and then you start thinking about these sports, like where some of the teams make a lot of money, some of the other teams don't make a lot of money. How do you kind of corral that?
Yeah.
How do you corral all of it? Governor Jeff Landry got that.
Yeah. He got it done.
He's going to step on that can. He ain't kicking that thing down the road. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who just secured another bag via Pete Thamel's tweet. There's some breaking news out of the college football world. Nebraska coach Matt Rule signed a 2-year contract extension this morning, which will take him through the 2032 season. It includes a $15 million buyout this year that effectively eliminates him from any jobs in this coaching cycle. Interesting wording for Pete Thamel. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of Nebraska. The man just signed a 2-year extension this morning. Matt Rule.
Hey, coach.
What's up, fellas?
Congratulations. I know obviously not the best outcome. We don't want that. We want to win by 100 every single time. But congratulations on an extension with Nebraska. How'd we get to this point? How long has this been in the works? And congrats. You watched us read Pete Thamel's tweet. I don't think he was as celebratory as he should be. Congratulations to you, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, ran your ass out of Carolina, bro. Signing a new deal with Nebraska. Congratulations.
No, thank you very much. Yeah, we were on I think 2 weeks ago, and we talked about it, and I told you guys how much we love it here, and to me, there's lots of great jobs, but very, very rarely in this business do you find a home. And we felt like Nebraska's our home. This program's our home. I love these players. I love this place. Our AD, Troy Dahn, has been amazing to me. Our president, Dr. Gold. And it's just the alignment. You see places that don't have alignment. We got amazing alignment, and we're building. And so, I think after about week 3, Troy started talking to me about it, and I just was like, hey, I just got to focus on football. But I appreciate it. They're betting on the future, and we're doubling down.
Congrats, man. That's very cool to hear.
Yeah.
You've been this way about Nebraska since you got there. I think you were very excited. There was other jobs that you could have had, and you also could have just become a professional golfer like some fired coaches have in the past and collected the check in it all. I'm excited that you're back in a place that you absolutely love over there in Nebraska. Fresh off beating Northwestern, congrats on a big-time win. Obviously, Northwestern had been shocking a lot of people, got James Franklin's ass fired up there in Penn State. Now you have huge game, obviously, USC at home, 7:30 on NBC. What's the mindset as you look down the last 4 games here, which are all pretty big down the stretch for your Nebraska Cornhuskers?
Yeah, I think the thing that our team has learned, and I think we unfortunately learned it the hard way at Minnesota, and then, is like, hey, parities here at college football. Like, in the NFL, if you have a winning record, you're probably going to make the playoffs. I mean, we're pretty close. I mean, you don't, 9-8 is a good season. 10-7 is a good season. Parities in college football. I mean, look at the teams that are in the top 10 that weren't there years ago. So every single week you got to show up and play. I mean, the days of beating people 45, some people are doing it, but not, I mean, I'm watching Texas the other night come back to win. I'm watching Alabama come back to win. It's just, you got to show up every single week. And so we have 4 chances left. And this Saturday, obviously it's amazing opportunity for us to play a great USC team that's 5-2, and they're probably the best offense I think I've ever seen. So it'll be a lot of fun.
You talk about the offense. I mean, you're talking about a one man, Lincoln Riley. Go ahead, Con man.
Yeah, Coach, how's your relationship with Lincoln Riley? I believe you guys go back to the Baylor OU days, and you might have played a few times. I am not 100% sure about that, just like most things. But how do you approach an offense like that? Do you go back and look at all the games, he called both at Oklahoma and, with Caleb Williams and things of that nature? And how are you feeling, going up against a guy that was such an offensive guru for so many years?
Yeah, I think he's brilliant. I think he's a great guy. He was the offensive coordinator at East Carolina when I was at Temple as the head coach. So, I mean, going all the way back to he had a great offense at East Carolina. And then obviously at OU and Baylor, so I had a chance to go against him there. And I think he's one of the best offensive minds in football. And he does it so many different ways. He played one way with Baker. The next year he had Kyler Murray. He played a different way. The next year he had Jalen Hurts and revamped his offense. But at the end of the day, he always scores points. They run the football. And so, for us, there's no secret formula. We got to play well. We're going to have to play well on offense, defense. We've been playing great on special teams. We have to keep that up. And, get to the fourth quarter. Hopefully it's, in the 20s. It's freezing cold here Saturday night. And get to the fourth quarter and be ready to just go make one more play.
It does feel like it's starting to become Big Ten weather time. It's raining this morning. The leaves are falling. We've had these beautiful, majestic, orange, pink leaves for like the last 2 weeks or so. It has been great. This morning, rain, wind, goodbye. Bare ash trees, terrible weather coming. Is it like that in Nebraska right now as well?
Oh yeah. So I wear shorts every day, Pat, and I don't use the indoor. And if I ever can't handle the cold, I'm like, all right, guys, let's go to the indoor. So that's like my barometer. And yesterday it was so cold yesterday that I walked over to Holgerson. I was like, Dana, do you want to go inside? And he said, no, I love it out here. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, it was debilitatingly cold and windy. So, but that's, again, you've heard me complain, like that's football. Like it wasn't meant to be played all the time. Every game wasn't meant to be played indoors or in the sun. Like you got to deal with this. And so I'm fired up to be in this type of weather now.
Dana, you want to go inside or no? No, this is good.
He let me down.
DC said the same thing, man. Everybody. I just asked Dylan. I said, Dylan, you want to go inside? He said, no. I'm like, what is your guys' problem? What is your guys' problem? It's freezing cold out here. Saturday during the day, 47 degrees. Nighttime, 31.
Oh,
winds light and variable. Good for kickers. Don't know where the hell they're coming from. Don't worry about it. And then obviously 81% humidity is going to make it a little chill.
Yeah.
That's going to make a little bit of a sting on the face there whenever you talk about below freezing. Congratulations to you guys getting USC in Nebraska in that weather. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, I don't mean to go back to the loss to Minnesota, but Coach Saban always talks to us on this show about teams that, like his team specifically, and then other teams that this year needed to lose. After that loss to Minnesota, was that something that was needed for your guys, and what was the message after that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was pissed off after that game because I felt like I think PJ Fleck's a great coach. I think he's got 8 years there, wherever he's been there, 8-9 years of establishing a culture. And I felt like as a team, we did not respect the process and how hard that game was going to be. And so it's 7-6 at halftime, and we're in the locker room like despondent. And I'm like, what's wrong with you guys? Like, this is what football's like. And so I thought we had to come. I didn't want to lose, but we came out of that loss, and then they bullied us in the fourth quarter, and they were very receptive to the message on Sunday and Monday. Like, hey, every game's going to be hard. We're going to have to battle every single game, get to the fourth quarter. So we go in at halftime this week, and it's 7-6 again. Now, we're up this time 7-6, but I walked in the locker room. I'm like, hey, who are you going to be in the second half? And we got a 15-point lead. They came back, tied it up, and we go down and win the game at the end. And that's the type of team that you need in college football now. Resilient, humble, because it's just travel, there's weather, there's good teams, there's NIL, there's parity. You better battle every single week, and I wasn't happy after Minnesota at all.
Okay, everything's still in front of you, though, right? You're telling your team, obviously. Now, let's look at the Final Four games. USC, if you're able to get a win, you will be able to get a win. We're talking to the head coach of the team. That would be obviously huge. UCLA, obviously a win. You would like to have that would be a good win, but they've been playing good ball as well. Penn State, obviously, before the season looks different than it does now. And if Iowa next week is to beat Oregon, that game at the end of the year, obviously pretty gigantic. You go back to your first game of the season, Cincinnati's become a very, very, very big team. It's like all of a sudden everything literally still in front of you, Coach Rule, right? That's the angle, at least. You're seeing the same thing I'm seeing?
Absolutely. I mean, our whole goal as a program is to come down to this time of year, get to November, and be relevant, be chasing getting into the playoff, be chasing all these things. And so, USC has that same hope. Iowa has that same hope. They're both at 5-2 and 6-2, and that's the parity of the Big Ten. And so, to your point, like we beat Cincinnati, and they're a highly ranked team. I mean, we've had some good moments, but it's all about what you do in November. You know better than anybody else, right? Like, so all that stuff got you ready for this point. Everything's in front of you. Now go play great football, and this is an unbelievable challenge this week versus a great team, and we'll be ready for it.
Still being in it is a great thing, brother. Ty has a question for you, Iowa Hawkeye, obviously.
Yeah, speaking of all that, Coach, how much has it changed in terms of like the coaching staff's mentality, your mentality, and the players with the new 12-team playoff? Because like you said, I mean, obviously after the Minnesota loss, things change a little bit, but you guys do still have everything ahead of you, whereas, maybe a couple years ago when you were at Baylor or whatever, if you have 2 losses at this point, you're eliminated. You're not going anywhere. Like, how has that changed maybe how you approach things philosophically and also how the team just kind of approaches the game week in, week out?
Yeah, I think there's a good and a bad to it, right? Like you've seen a lot of teams in college football, like they lose that second game and all of a sudden they go on a 4-game, skid because they're like, well, the season's over, Our approach has been get better and better and better and play our best football in November, play our best football in December. Like, hey, we're training the guys to go be pro football players. That's how it's going to be at the next level. And that's how college football's become. I was on the Penn State football team in 1994 that went undefeated, won the Rose Bowl, beat Oregon 38-6, and didn't win a national championship. The national championship instead came here to Nebraska. And that was a really different world back then. And then at Baylor, we finished 11-1. We go to the conference championship game against Oklahoma. We lose in overtime, and we don't get to go to the playoff. So it's the access, I think, has made football much more enjoyable and fun to watch coming down the stretch here because there's so many teams that are still alive. You just got to play your way in, and we're going to fight to play our way in.
You got a nice black long sleeve shirt on there. I got a black Henley on here, and I just saw on social media the boys are going Black Ops this weekend. I like that. What is the thought, and what is this going to look like in your state? Are we going blackout in the crowd too?
Yes, the crowd's going to black out. It's great. We wanted to do it. We wanted to do it. The players wanted to do it. The recruits wanted to do it. And we kind of felt early on, hey, this will be a night game. I think blackouts look great at night, obviously. And so there's nothing better in the world than a night game in Lincoln, Nebraska, except for maybe a blackout late night game in Lincoln, Nebraska. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna throw the uniforms on. I think it's gonna be electric, and it's gonna be a great football game. So it's something we planned in the preseason, and obviously the game has some real merit now, so it'll be fun.
Okay, so you don't have to give anything away. Do not feel obligated to answer this. But is there a man that was wearing jeans and a black T-shirt next to a guy wearing 6 different costumes this morning on Get Up, giving maybe a speech on your Jumbotron?
Oh, I bet he better be on the Jumbotron. Okay. We need Willie C to come through big for us this game. It's going to take everybody. I got Tommy Frazier going out to be the honorary captain. This is a fun big moment for Nebraska to be playing a game in November on national TV, and it's not because of the other team. It's because of us and the other team, and so we're fired up about it, and we're calling on all the greats.
Biggest game in the Rule Nebraska era happening this weekend. We appreciate you taking time, brother. Enjoy the hell out of it all. Halloween, best candy. Oof. Think about it.
Oh my God, Butterfinger.
Wow. What were you battling with? There?
Well, because I hate to admit this, my daughters have those nerd clusters things that they came out with now.
Don't hate them. I'm a chocolate guy as well. Yeah, it's hard to admit that the little candies are pretty good. Those are unbelievable.
They're amazing.
Too many, huh? You having a lot?
Well, I mean, all I'm saying is, I'm just trying to lose all this weight. We get the Halloween week. I've been on a bender since like Monday. We do Julie does like a trunk or treat for all the coaches' kids, and I've just been eating candy nonstop.
Yeah, you're supposed to though. Supposed to. Yep. Hey, this is part of it. Yeah, you're supposed to
live a little.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Butterfinger, nerd clusters, Reese's, Oreos exist. Yeah. I mean, you do whatever the hell you need to do over there. You've earned it.
Okay, I feel good about that. Thank you. My first time being in shape at this, so I'm not used to the rules. So thank you.
Well, that's interesting. So I'm also a guy that easy come, easy go with the weight. Like 70-pound weight spins for me throughout entire years are very possible with how much I like to eat and how much I enjoy eating. You probably understand where I'm coming from when I say this. You just got to make sure after this week you have the ability to stop. See, that's the issue with us fatzos. Us fatzos would say, you know what? We'll do the Halloween week and then we'll feel like such shit in fatzos. We'll stop immediately after. And guess what we do right there on Saturday when November comes? Well, we got to eat what we had last week. And then Sunday. And then on Monday, you think to yourself, I just ate like shit all last week. I might as well let me get some fried.
Well, then we're 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving, so we might as well just wait till after. We'll start the new year.
Okay, so we're putting a red light. We're putting a red light after Halloween. Okay, that's what we're all doing here.
Thank you. Done. I'm in.
All right, I'll send a text. Accountability buddies.
There you go.
Accountability buddies here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Coach Matt Rule. Congrats on the new deal.
Yeah, Coach.
That was cool of them to announce that 5 minutes before he comes on.
Certainly.
That was certainly on purpose.
Yep.
And we are very, very, very thankful for that because he usually says, what do you need? When do you need us? Is normally his conversation. And this time they're like, hey, how about 12:30? Is that okay? It's like, yeah, no problem at all, actually. And then 12:25, Pete Thamel pops up into our feed. Matt Rule just signed a new deal that maybe limits him from possibly not leaving. What was that?
I don't know. That was...
What was it? I don't think
you would think just announcing the extension would kind of get across that, hey, I'm not leaving this coaching cycle.
Source says Nebraska coach Matt Rule signed a 2-year contract extension this morning, which will take him through 2032 season, 7 years from now. It includes a $15 million buyout. We're listening to Brian Kelly's $53 million buyout right now. $15 million buyout this year that effectively eliminates him from any jobs in this coaching cycle.
Okay.
It effectively does, but not definitely.
This is college football. Anything can happen.
Please call Pete Thamel. Yeah, I didn't know why he worded it that way. We certainly need that.
Nebraska's not off the hook here yet.
$15 million? We see some of these billionaires chew that.
It could turn into quite a quagmire.
This could be quite. Listen, the wording is quite a sticky situation. Is potentially what he's going to say.
Yeah, he might say all of that verbatim.
Okay, let's give actual predictions on what Pete Thamel says here. I'm going to say he's going to say something about, if you read the fine print of the contract, it's not necessarily a guarantee that he's not going to be exploring other options this offseason. It's just whether or not. That's why I think the angle. What do you think the angle is going to be?
Probably something along the lines of, well, you mentioned these billionaires, Pat, $15 million, if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't Warren Buffett live in Omaha? That's a stone's throw away from Lincoln if they decide they want to move on.
Connor, what do you think Pete Thamel says?
I think he's going to be quite gobsmacked that they got this done in the middle of the year and it was only a 2-year extension.
Okay, we just connected with him. I was just cold FaceTiming him as well because we called him in the back. He did not answer. He's probably got so many other things happening. Because everybody that saw that is doing exactly what we're doing. Right? But it's not just idiots that are live on TV. It's like other coaches that are looking for things. Agents are potentially looking for stuff. Schools are thinking of things. Ladies and gentlemen, the authority on college football, the man that just broke the potential news that Matt Rule is out of the coaching cycle. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Thamel.
Yeah, Pete.
Hello, Pete.
Love glasses, Pete.
Hi, Pat. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for doing that news break about Coach Matt Rule literally 3 minutes before he came on our show. That was awesome. I was reading your tweet for the first time live on air. Found the wording to be very interesting. Nebraska coach Matt Rule signed a 2-year contract extension this morning, which will take him through 2032 season. That's 7 years from now. It includes a $15 million buyout this year that effectively eliminates him from any jobs in his coaching cycles. So does effectively eliminates him mean definitely eliminates him, or do you think he's still potentially dancing around this offseason?
No dancing, Pat. No dancing. Effectively eliminates is just a phrase for tie to repeat in my voice. I think it would have with a little bit of flair. So you can't ever deal in absolutes in the carousel. But Matt Rule's staying, and this is a clear, searing sign that Matt Rule is going to be at Nebraska. And really, let's just be blunt. Not go to Penn State, where his closest friend is the athletic director. He's a graduate of there, and they were obviously heavily linked since that job opened. So no, Matt Rule is going to be a Husker for a while. I was told, Pat, by sources, this is a sign of Matt Rule's family loves it in Lincoln. They love Nebraska, and Matt Rule believes that you can win big at that place, and this is a tangible sign of that.
Every week he joins us, there's some massive 8K LED board behind it. I mean, it is, the way he describes it is they're all in. I'm happy to hear that he's all in as well. Congrats to Matt Rule on a new deal. Let's talk about those coaching vacancies. Who's gonna go to all these places, dude? Like, I know Lane Kiffin's name's obviously up there, but what if he wants to stay at Ole Miss because of how good they are currently at Ole Miss? Is this just going to be a reshuffling of these coaches? There's going to be young names. Who do you think is going to take all these jobs that everybody is calling highly sought after jobs? Signetti signs a $93 million deal. Matt Rule signs a deal through 2032. Obviously, there's going to be other moves made. Like, who's going to take all these jobs, Pete? Is it these guys that just got fired going to other places?
Yeah, I think, Pat, one of the interesting nuances of today is that, and you mentioned Kurt Signetti, we're seeing the unintended consequences of all these early firings. We have never had 8 power jobs open before Halloween, right? So now you're giving the schools ample time and ammo to sign these guys up at a deal. Whereas if you make this move around Thanksgiving, the schools probably aren't as proactive if they don't know the competition is looming. So it's an interesting wrinkle. Like, what will Vanderbilt do with Clark Lee? I think that's a really interesting question, right? Like, he's obviously we were just there last week, Pat, for game day. He has them, as hot as they've been since Grantland Rice was a student at Vanderbilt, right? So, I think that's really interesting. But your point, Pat, is really, really a salient one. There are a lot of jobs open, and the kind of coaches you fire your coach for are starting to disappear from the board. There's only 3 championship coaches sitting in college football right now. They're not going anywhere. And if you're doing what Penn State did, if you're doing what LSU did, you are going to, you are aiming for a national championship, and there are a couple names off the board right now who are, some of the better names to go do that. So I heard you had Jeff Landry on the show today, Pat. My phone started to blow up when I landed at the airport in Salt Lake. How'd that go?
Okay, so it's Governor Jeff Landry, first of all.
Excuse me.
And by the way, he
Yes.
appoints the commission of the committee, he appoints the people that run. That's Texas.
Yeah, Board of Supervisors.
Board of Supervisors. It is my people running that. And it ain't going to be our people paying that bill. Okay, so we ain't doing that again is basically what he said. He explained, now he didn't know that maybe Jimbo and Brian Kelly and Scott Woodward have different agents. Okay, so that obviously Big Deluxe wanted to make sure we got that kind of clarity through that conversation and all. But he was very much open about how, like, hey, this is going to become, he's going to be trying to put incentive-based contracts in for these coaches going forward. That is what he was saying, basically. It's like, if you're good, you're going to win. What are you scared about, baby? Is what he said. That is verbatim what he said in this entire thing. What do you think the reality is of the shift of that potentially happening going forward? Because I tried to tell Governor, and listen, Governor Jeff Landry, he's obviously more in know than I am about this particular situation, but I tried to tell him, like, hey, this is a freight train that's already gone, brother. He talked about how the NCAA needs to be the ones to fix it, and I told him, hey, the NCAA is saying you guys need to be the ones that are fixing it. And he goes, oh, well, the NCAA just needs to read it. They need to set the rules. So it feels like, we are maybe meeting a melting pot at some point, or a burning
boiling point?
There it is, a boiling point at some point here with all this shit. But what are your thoughts on it, and what do you think the reality of change is in all of it, Pete? I guess that's a pretty open-ender for you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Pat. It's a pretty hilarious. We could call it a vexing conundrum, right? You have a job without a school president. You have cut the knees off the athletic director, right? Who's not going to hire the coach. So you need a coach desperately to fulfill championship expectations. But now, with no president and an AD who you've cut his knees out off, you want him to come without a lot of guaranteed money. That seems to me to be a bit of a contrast in thinking, right? Because and you've compressed the market too, by scaring some coaches off, and then obviously, prompting an economic stimulus to get some signed.
They shouldn't be scared.
I think Governor Landry is likely not helping LSU find a better coach.
Oh, what do you know, Pete? You're part of the problem now. You got to start looking at the agents with Pete now. There's one guy breaking all the news.
Yes.
There's one guy breaking all the news. I don't know. How many sports insiders here? None. There's only one named Pete Dahn. Who do you think he's got? Somebody's in his pockets. I'll get to the bottom of it. Yeah, Jeff Landry is, Governor Jeff Landry, sorry, sir, is just awesome because he does, I assume, speak like how a lot of people, and his thoughts are exactly how a lot of people feel, especially in the state of Louisiana. And for us, it's just like, hey, how do you fix it all, brother? I don't know how because it's not just.
Hell of a ball coach.
There's a lot. He would have been an incredible football coach. I could imagine he thought. But yeah, but it's nice to know that there's a governor now that's potentially on the side of like, let's try to fix what college football is as a whole because how much they love it. Now, I'm not saying he can do it alone, but if more would kind of figure this out, we'll continue the incredible growth of the number 2 sport in the United States of America, college football, who only has one insider that we officially know, the authority, Pete Thamel. We appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, Pete.
There's some, hey, hold on, Pete. Hold on, Pete. Pete.
Yeah, yes.
I just saw a tweet. The Connor Stallion story just.
Oh, yes, that came down today. The NCAA made a ruling on the Central Michigan facet of that case. If you recall, Connor Stallions went in disguise with, remember the sunglasses that allegedly had the videotaping component on the side? That was one of the more fun wrinkles during that very fun time, Pat. I can't stress how much fun that was, that whole case. I do think seriously though, like you guys, we've had some fun with Connor Stallions in the case. There's a handful of coaches whose like careers are over because of this. Small college guys at Central Michigan, they got show causes for multiple years. Jay Costner is one of them, and for getting wrapped up in that scheme. And I like my general thought on that. Jim McElwain's retired; he gets a show cause. Who cares? You got a bunch of coaches who got wrapped up in that scheme, whose careers are at least now diverted, if not significantly altered because of this. So it was. I feel bad for those guys.
There's always, people on the other side of like, how the hell story that are just living in the bullshit world that has been caused because of it all. So obviously we send our positive thoughts at, shouldn't be cheating. All right, we appreciate the hell out of you. You're the man. I know that was a lot of fun for you throughout the time of it. Feels like it's completely wrapped up now. Let's move forward.
We've pulled up at BYU here, Pat. So thank you. My Uber driver's giving me some funny looks.
Okay, sounds good. Tell him, hey, Mormon's supposed to be nice, I thought. You're thankful to be out there.
Very patient. He's been very patient with me.
You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Thamel, thank you.
Yeah, Pete.
Obviously, if we're in Utah, got to swing by BYU.
Check in on Kalani Sitake. See what he's up to.
I say hello, Big Oosh. Good to see you. Yes. Could you imagine Pete dressed like that? Goes, what up, Oosh?
Oh,
to Coach Sitake.
Please.
They have the number 1 college basketball player in the country, too, in there.
He's so good.
Ryan Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is what we're talking about. And this is what Governor Jeff Landry, I guess a couple billionaires could come in. I can't believe he was on our show today.
That was so awesome.
It's been long overdue.
You know what? Governor Jeff Landry down there at Radio Row, down there in New Orleans, he was standing there. We didn't even get a chance to sit by him because he was walking
we didn't even
by.
say Gator one time.
At the end, I said Gator Hunt.
Yeah. You did say Gator Hunt. Yeah.
He did not say Gator
Hunt. Correct.
Said you got to come down now.
You got to come down and hunt now, yeah. What a hilarious person. Just all of it. Just Just all of it is hilarious.
Yeah.
I think you have to be, though, probably to get into the politics world. Now,
No
granted,
doubt.
you could just be a robot. I guess I see a lot of that.
Sure.
I thought in the politics world you had to talk. Like, I thought that was like one of the things.
Like your
That was
first
back
couple
in the
years.
day.
But you're like 40, 45 that you're in it. I think you just sit there like a mummy.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think that's because you can't actually speak?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that when
Could
I
be.
see these.
Yeah, pub list.
It's not just them, by the way. It's other television.
And I think a lot of them don't remember what they said, and then they want to go the other way, and then they know that clip will be pulled, so then they can't say anything at all.
And they don't
Good luck
even
out
care.
there, politicians. Thanks for doing it.
That's right.
Thanks. You guys did a good job. Actually, I think right now, terrible, right? Because it's not working.
I don't think that any of them are working right now.
Yeah.
So you guys aren't doing anything.
Shut down.
I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I hope you enjoy your vacation. What is
Probably
it?
more watching us now than ever since they're sitting at home, nothing to do.
Let us tell you what to do. Okay? We've been saying this for a long time. You guys need a scoreboard over there. Okay? In sports, we have a scoreboard. So then we know, okay, who's winning and who's losing.
Yep.
Now, the issue with you guys, I think it's tough to know what a point is. Because somehow, I've heard some people talk, and there'll be somebody tells me, massive loss for this person. This person will then pop on TV. Look at me. Look what I. So I don't know if there is a scoring system that you guys have over there, but in our world of sports, there's scores. So then you can say, oh, the one that won more probably should be the one that we maybe listen to or try to follow. Losers normally fade out in our world. It's called meritocracy. You guys should think about doing that in the government world, politics world, and we'd like to wish you luck in figuring that out.
Yep.
And we'd also like to wish Governor Jeff Landry luck on trying to make a, what was his name? Incredible pot smoker, greatest of all time, Ricky Williams?
Yeah.
A Ricky Williams-like deal for a coach is what it sounds like is potentially happening. That also was with the Saints, if you do recall.
It was.
It was with the Saints when Ricky Williams and Master P, I do believe, negotiated a deal that was very incentive-based and incentive-laden. And obviously incentives are good, but I think at this stage of where everybody else's contract is at, I think it's going to be tough for Governor to get that one in there. But hey, if anybody could do it, Governor Jeff Landry.
Amen.
Hour 2 will be on the other side. We got Coach McCarthy joining us. Is he up for any of these college jobs?
Good question.
Might be.
We should ask him.
Maybe
Yeah.
from
Oh,
PA.
yeah.
You think maybe Penn State up?
Could be. He knows the battleground.
Could you imagine him as a college coach? Oh,
I honestly can't. It'd be awesome, though.
it would be awesome. It would be incredible. And from what the conversations we've had with him, I think he could relate to anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Like legitimately anybody. What a legend.
Hi,
He's on the
you.
other side. AJ Hawk's on the other side. More sports talk. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We'll see you then.
Speaking of kicking football, especially here at Vandy, we have living legend here, Sarah Fuller, who's a 3-time SEC champion soccer player for Vandy, and also came in to kick for Vandy whenever they need an absolute badass. We appreciate you stopping by, Sarah. Welcome back to campus. Great to have you here. And Kirk, we have a man named Tyler Huang. Is that accurate?
There you go.
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Dover, Massachusetts.
All right, so I've heard Vanderbilt is the Harvard of the South. What are your majors here?
I'm a chemie and econ major.
Okay, a chemi. Okay, that's what we call it. That's slang for
Yeah.
chemical engineering.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm in the chemi world too. You played soccer your whole life?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever kick a football or field goals?
Senior year.
You were the high school kicker for your team?
A few games. I might have stepped in.
Okay, so you have a lot of experience. Sarah, do you think he should be able to make it on his first attempt then, right?
Oh, absolutely. I have all the confidence. He's got the soccer, he's got the football background, he's got it.
Okay, and Kirk Herbstreit's chasing a squirrel behind us as he plays catch with everybody here in Vandy.
Have you ever made a kick from this far?
Oh, of course.
You have?
Of course.
All right, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. One kick only. One kick only. $500,000. Okay? $500,000, Tyler, if you're able to make a 33-yard field goal. We'll also donate $250,000 to charity, $750,000 in total, $500,000 in your pocket, $250,000 to charity. Take the lap, kid. Look at Tyler. Come on, bro. Congratulations. Tyler Wayne hits the biggest ball we have seen. Sarah Fuller with the tip. Herbie with the home.
Right down.
Vandy with a magical Saturday morning.
How many kicks have we been doing over the years?
I have no idea.
That was the best kick
we've ever had, bro. Ever.
Kick we've ever had.
You said it's been 2 years. I think maybe you should start trying to send some tape out to colleges around the country. You murdered that, brother. What is the first dollar going to be spent on? Those degrees you're getting right now?
Yeah, probably helping my parents help me out with that. Just so excited. Can't believe it.
You're the best, dude. Congratulations, Tyler. Congrats to his parents.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this NFL Week 9 kickoff Thursday, October 30th, 2020. Our tour begins now. Football! I forgot to say, it's Spooky Thunderdome Day. You see it.
True.
Yeah. Okay, you see Big Skelly. Okay, turns out we had one of these all along. This is the exact skeleton, two of them, that were in A.Q. Shipley's front yard. Then were ripped out of his front yard at 12:14 a.m. by a bunch of shirtless Caucasian hooligans.
Yep.
And yesterday we talked about it on the program alongside J.J. Watt. Word got back to the hooligans, and all of a sudden, guess what was returned yesterday?
What?
Yeah, but here's in the middle of the first inning of a U-Ball game yesterday. A.Q. Shipley drifted away from the court on the phone in a sense of urgency and comes back with this announcement.
Hey, boy. Skeleton is being returned.
We're obviously incredibly happy for AQ. That was a splashy splash.
Yeah.
I would go on to hit a few more after that, which is obviously perfect timing. But it was big news, or not only around Arizona, but the United States of America, when Halloween was saved for the Shipley family, as these boys recognized a fault, returned to the home, scene of the crime, if you will, built it back up, what I've been told.
Okay.
And then, under the order of those who were there, 50 push-ups while chanting things, different messages.
Love that.
Yes. So there was a little bit of, it wasn't full fist-to-face or boot-to-ass.
Okay.
But I do believe there was some.
Made an example.
At least some, an example of it. Now, would these kids have gotten arrested maybe any other house in the United States of America if they just walked back with that thing? Probably. But we talked A.Q. Shipley into it. Remember, first hour, he was not about it.
No, man.
First
All
hour,
morning.
they bring it back. Good. Yeah, they come back. Good. That's when I can actually punch him in the face. Then by the third hour, whenever we talk to him, we're like, hey, these boys bring back Skelly, your kid's favorite decorate. We can certainly get this thing back. Yeah, that's true. Hey, we can do that. And then he acknowledged these boys made a mistake and they owned up to it. Yep. Halloween is back on at the Shipley house.
What a day.
This is good.
Yeah. Amazing.
I mean, this is great news. Honestly, this is brilliant news. Is the world? I don't know. Talks the table here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Whenever the hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, Luigi, Ton, Julio. You look unbelievable.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Shout out to JC, got that thing tight.
Yeah, he did.
Especially with that cowboy hat, you look really, how do you do?
Clean.
Yeah.
You look super.
How do you?
Hair looked good, too. I don't know if camera angle got it. Yeah, hair's flowing right. Yeah, Tone feels like a young 22-year-old paisano.
Oh, sure.
With this mustache rolling around. Tat looks super cool as well. Happy Halloween to you.
Happy Halloween to you.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Hawker.
Hawker, I don't know if you noticed, we maybe just had the best first hour of our show in the history. Okay?
I was watching as a fan. It was very fun. Governor Jeff Landry always entertains. That guy. Yeah, what a treat. He's stepping on the can right now. We know that.
During the break, I found out that Ryan Clark was on television earlier today, not happy with the governor. No. I would like to let everybody know that I legitimately did not know that. I did not see it, but I legitimately had some questions on the shit that he said. And I feel like because of what happened during the Super Bowl, where we got to meet him, chat with him, and then whenever game day was down in LSU, I got a chance to meet the people around him and chat with him a little bit. We threw a Hail Mary. We're like, to hell with it. Let's go and see if we can get this guy to clarify some things. Like 15 minutes before show starts. It's like, let's see. Let's go. Don't we have a connection? I think we do, right? Don't they know us a little bit? We talked to his people. Didn't we talk to his people? His people know us, right? Yep. Send it down there. Immediate responses. The governor's got some things scheduled, but we will see. Like, we call you back. It's like, you got it. Or you got it. And then allegedly, Governor Jeff Landry was like thankful for the opportunity to explain a little bit, but also was not looking for the moment. Like I saw a couple people down in Louisiana. I saw one blogger at least post like the governor with a quote. I'm not going to be the one picking the next head coach, but a group that is appointed by me and loyal to me will be the ones that be making the selection. And then he did kind of say that, but then the guy afterwards said, and don't look now, I'm on a nationally televised podcast /show saying this. It's definitely not me. So I just want to clarify. We asked him. It wasn't like he said, hey, can I get out and do some more talking about football? We remembered that we potentially had a connection with him and sent the thing. If that makes sense, AJ, I just want to clarify all that shit.
No, yeah, he's not on like a press junket when you see these people promoting movies and they do 50 shows in one day. He's not doing that. I'm sure he has some other stuff to handle, but it is pretty interesting the fact that how involved I guess he is in the not only the firing but the new search, I guess.
Well, he said that that's like that in most states, I think, because all these schools are, the highest paid state employee, I think in every state but maybe two of them, is the head coach of the state university. And then it never really gets talked about, though. Like, hey, this is that's a state employee there? That never really gets talked about in the entirety of the contracts and conversations. And then Jeff Landry says, taxpayer got to pay $53. I don't think so. I mean, where's that money? We got roads we'd like to.
True.
And
they're raising prices.
And they're raising prices on Friday? Yeah, right. Who's doing this? I don't think so. So I think that is why he did what he did at the press conference, and he's getting involved a little bit more, louder. But ultimately, he said he wants to put guardrails on college sports.
I heard that.
And it's like, hell yeah, Governor. And then I told him, hey, the NCAA thinks you guys need to be doing that so they can operate. And he goes, oh, yeah, I mean, I had Congress a long time. And what they like to do, kick can down road. I like step on the can. I like to get things done. But the NCAA, he goes, they can certainly, within the guidelines of the rules, they can certainly take care of this. And I call on them to do it. I'm like, that's exactly what, Governor, that's what they said, though. Yeah. So now we're kind of, so the entire time, back half of that conversation with him, I was trying to motivate him to, actually try to take this on. Like, hey, somebody's going to have to take this on. You're signing up for a lot of work, though, AJ.
You let him know. I feel like you told him, well, I think you're up against it. I think it's a tough uphill battle, no question, but you are the guy for the job. But it's true. How does it even start? When they mention guardrails, where does it even start? What's the first thing that happens?
70 million buyout for Jimbo, different agent. 53 million here. I mean, we're doing the NFL right now. Yeah. I mean, we just looked at Myles Garrett, because our show and some others just certainly broadcast hey, Myles Garrett's spiking his helmet after getting 5 sacks. He's already said he wanted to be out there. And then Connor's like, who has a lot of money and who has a lot of opportunity and maybe didn't know they were going to be in this good a position? Holy shit, Myles Garrett's coming to the New England Patriots. And he's not the only person that was saying that. There's other people that were certainly saying it. And then immediately as that conversation's happening or ending on our show, Schefter gets a text, we'd assume, from somebody pretty high up, if I had to guess, to go, there's no chance of that happening. Okay, there's no chance of that happening. And we go, why is there no chance of that? And then they mention there's $60 million in dead cap, which is exactly what this buyout money is for these state-run universities. It's like these types of deals have been happening in sports for a long time, let alone the universities trying to woo coaches, because there's only certain amount of coaches that are good. How do you woo anybody in any business? It's like, well, guarantees, and you can do this, amount of control, amount of leverage, amount of guarantees. So I think he is up against it. And I don't know if now is a good time to be up against it, especially with the 12-team playoff and all the opportunity that there is in college sports. It's like, how do you navigate that? If we know anything about Governor Jeff Landry, he's going to get that tiger on the field. So he's going to get that tiger on the field. So I think he's going to sort it out, but I will be intrigued to see what this contract inevitably ends up being with whatever coach that comes down there and what coach ends up taking the deal. You know, AJ?
Yeah, right. Let's see if they can. Are they going to like change the mold on hiring and what contracts may look like moving forward? Obviously, they're LSU. They're different than. There's different tiers to the jobs out there, but is he going to change things?
I think he said we're going to set a template. Right? Didn't he say something about that?
He did say that.
He said others will see our template that we set here.
But
it was awesome.
His template recommendation was basically like, put your reputation on the line. You win, you get paid. You don't, and
UFL, baby.
Yeah, I don't know how many coaches are signing up for that, but hey,
basically said you get $1 million per win each year.
How about this? $5 million from our taxpayers here, Louisiana. We will say thank you with $5 million every win that you have. Good luck out there. Ooh. What if it's the biggest contract in the history?
Could.
If you win, biggest contract in history.
Like some young hotshot kid takes a chance on himself and they give him a job, and or maybe if you lose, you got to pay like $2 million back. Like every loss, you got to pay something back.
Actually, you got to go pave roads.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Go lay concrete.
Hard labor.
Go lay concrete. I don't know. I think, honestly, this is Jeff Landry right now. What this ends up becoming, I think, will be a good thing for LSU football until they lose games, if they lose games.
Correct.
But there's a chance to go undefeated.
Yeah.
There's a chance to go undefeated going forward, and I'm excited to see who ends up down there. Honestly, I'm very excited to see.
They want to win. We know that they want to win. We know some fan bases feel like their team or their school doesn't truly want to win. I feel like Jeff Landry and LSU, they want to win. I don't know if you may not agree on how they go about it, but they're trying everything they can.
Yeah, and there's obviously a lot of interest in that job. You know, LSU, as soon as it opens up, you hear all the people that know coaching, all the people that know, like, in the coaching world, they're like, LSU, good job. I'm like, well, LSU, great job. Okay, I understand that their fans are awesome. I understand that the environment is crazy. Why is it such a good job? And then now it's 3 out of the last 4, but they always go 3 different coaches, national championship down there. 3 different coaches, national championship. Nick Saban, Miles, Coach O.
All within the first 4 years, too.
Those 3 coaches, all 3 of them, as soon as they leave LSU, they go on to become massive, very, 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 very successful head coaches. Is that right? All 3 of those guys do?
One of them.
Maybe. But at LSU, all 3 of them win a national championship.
Yes.
Okay, so all 3 of them win national championship there because the amount of talent that is just in Louisiana that just wants to be at LSU, I guess you're in it every year. Like, there's never going to be a game where you show up and the other side is going to have more talent, be more physically gifted, all that shit. So if you're a good coach, not even elite, if you are a good coach, the thought is at LSU, you should be able to get the boys rolling in the right direction, let alone if you're an elite coach, AJ, is kind of the conversation about it down there.
Yeah, you got to be an elite coach at some of these places, though. You have to. There just gets to a point to where the fan, like, they're sick of going 10-2, whatever it may be. Like, you have to make a deep run. I don't know. It is wild to think about. Think about Penn State's basically a couple plays from making the national championship. Coach Franklin's gone. Like, I get it. I understand why they do get, like, but it is, you just have to win, especially, like, there's a handful of 5-10 jobs where you have to win.
Kirk Herbstreit chatted about it in our production meeting for game day and then on game day a little bit. These money people shouldn't have the power. They're not football people. They should not be deciding what it is.
Why would they give any money then?
That's everybody's response. I was sitting right next to him whenever he said it, and I literally just looked at him, and I'm like, I agree with what you're saying. Yes.
I do too.
In theory, I agree. I know what you're saying, yes. But these people giving $10 million are like just going to expect something. And then also, if they don't like what's going on, they could just say, I'm not giving another $10 million. And then both of those things are leverage there. Yeah. Anytime you get into the publicly traded market, anytime you start taking outside money, all of a sudden there's outside voices or pressures. What are the pressures? Well, they're not happy, or they're threatening not to do that again. So then it's both of those things become pressures, but you need it to win. It's just like a part of the entirety. But we all agree with Kirk. I would like to let it go. That's not great. that is how it's going, but it is the reality of the current situation.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's been happening for a while, but I feel like when I was in college, maybe when you guys were in college, it was you'd have a big donor would give 25, 50 million, and that'd be like a one-time gift, and then they'd put their name on like a football building or something like that. Now it's you give $10 million on let's say, August 1st or whatever. Like, guess what? The following year on August 1st, they're coming right back to you and saying, hey, we need another 10 million. We need another 10 million. Like, you want to win? Let's go. We need this every single year.
And they're even sending highlights of, and once again, General Manager Rivera over there at Cal and the Cal algorithm, they got a lot of money. Let's assume that this is not going to be a conversation. But they will be sending highlights of Song of Politelli, if he's available, to these boosters and be like, hey, could you imagine what this guy could do at our place? It's 100,000 people all in. Song of Politelli comes out of the top. Like, they're setting the tone for these people. And you get a parking spot. Get a parking spot. Okay.
And you get the opportunity to pay $800,000 for a suite for the 8 home games we have.
Yeah, of course. This is not counting to the suite. The suite is its own thing, which obviously you would like to see the stadium renovated. We appreciate you looking out for us like that for future generations of insert name of school here. But also, we need this so when you're in that suite, you know what would make that suite better? On the field. This guy. Look at this throw. Look at this 3rd and 7 throw that he delivers right here. This is a cow. People would say, this is just Song of Politelli. Once again, General Manager Rivera out of Cal will figure that whole thing out. I'm just saying it as, Fernando Mendoza, it just happened. It's happened with Will Howard whenever he was coming out. Like, these are just things that happen, and they're only going to continue to happen. Like, we could be the next Diego Pavia situation with Vandy. All you got to do is give us $1.5 million. Well, I just gave you $2 million last year. Yeah, but those guys are developing.
Yeah, that's gone.
Those guys are developing. Well, they're not on our team anymore, right? Yeah, they're developing somewhere else. It's just always it's always one of those. I don't know how you keep them coming.
You can't.
You got to win.
Yeah.
You got to win every game. You want them to keep bringing money. Like, can you imagine you gave $5-10 million and they call you again and the team went 7-4? Like, well, I might give you $1 million, and then you can prove to me you can get back to where you were.
And on that note, like, if you don't win, what does the person that is accruing that money say to these people to make sure it keeps?
That's a tough game.
Yeah, so then it's like, well, you got to make change. You got to make change. I'm not giving you money. It's like, well, we need it. What are we talking about? No, we're done with it. Iced that.
Yeah.
What do you mean iced that? Don't call me. I ain't giving you another $1. This team sucks. I'm not watching. Well, you got a parking spot. Give it up. I don't want it. You can take that out of the whole thing. And then it's like, well, if I move on from the guy, you back $15 million. You move on from that guy. It's like, all of a sudden, this person has a lot of leverage.
Yeah.
Which goes back to Herb Street's point. That ain't how it's supposed to be. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who maybe signs up for that life.
Sure. Perhaps.
Super Bowl champ. He'd be able to bounce it all.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be able to bounce it all, stay above it all. He'd be able to look down at it and say, hey, listen, let's sort this out. Okay? I know you want shit. I want it too. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion, Coach Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, Coach.
How are you, Coach?
Ooh, enjoyed that segment. That was awesome.
Okay. Coach, all right, I'm going to put you on the spot here. And I mentioned it at the end of the last hour. Your name has not been brought up for any college job at all. Okay? Now we're in the world, though, where NFL coaches think that college football is more similar to the NFL than it's ever been. And maybe, with the draft class is basically just your recruiting class, and then portal is free agency. So maybe NFL guys are more likely to become college coaches because it's more of a similar operation. Now, like I said, nobody has mentioned the great Irishman from Pittsburgh for any of these college jobs. Have you ever considered college? Or are you just NFL guy through and through? And what is your views on the current state of college football?
Well, I mean, there was a time, actually, when I first got into coaching, I got into it for college football. I mean, that was my goal, back at the University of Pittsburgh. I was there in 1989 and 1992. And if you'd have told me I could have stayed there for 25 years on an assistant coach's contract, I would have signed it. I just felt that, college football was the period of a young man's life that you could make the biggest impact. So that was my initial, goal of getting into coaching and what attracted me to get into coaching. So, but then 1993, I got an opportunity at a young age by Marty Schottenheimer to be in the National Football League of Kansas City. And then really from there, that's been my flight, professionally. So, I looked at some things early in my time in the NFL, but, back then, I mean, it was so hard to get in the NFL. I can just remember the first staff that I was on. I think I was 29 years old, and I think the next oldest guy might have been in his late 30s, early 40s. So I mean, it was such a hard league to get into, even more so at that time. So so I've always viewed it as I'm here, do everything I can to progress here, and I've been very.
Oh, he's been very blessed, I believe, is what he was going to say.
I mean, hell, I think I'm going to stick to women's volleyball. I mean, that's a juggernaut out there, what these guys are going through. But I do agree with you. You see the parallels now, how the college landscape has gone more towards the professional with the payment of players and so forth. And I know just the friends that I have in college football, they do feel that the regularity of the college game is starting to get more and more balanced, and there is a little more clarity, but it's a tough gig, and especially just seeing what's going on here the last 2 weeks with with some of these buyouts. So I thought you made a lot of excellent points.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate hearing that from you, legitimately. And thank you for getting us a shout-out on Sunday Night Football. I mean, we're having quite a little run here. I don't know if you know about us. You get us a shout-out on Sunday Night Football. Thank you. Run it.
Among the interested spectators tonight, Mike McCarthy, who, of course, coached the Packers when they beat the Steelers in Super Bowl 45, coached Aaron for a long time, and a guy who grew up in Pittsburgh. He is Western PA through and through.
Hell yeah.
And, of course, after the run in Dallas, he's has some time on his hands now. See him on TV, Pat McAfee Show every week. Always enjoy talking ball with Mike, and he is here to take.
Thank you, man. Yeah, right. That would never happen. Also, you look so cool. Kangol hat up there. I see a couple maybe concoctions in it. How was the game? And then let's dive into the game. But first, how was the suite? How was life in Pittsburgh watching a game back home?
I mean, it was great. It's always great to go back home without a doubt. So to hang out with the family. But yeah, I was a little hesitant to go to the game. I'm so glad I did go to the game. The atmosphere was incredible. I mean, I just, love that stadium through and through, and the crowd on both sides. I mean, it was spectacular. I mean, especially in the first half, and, the Packers, I thought, played extremely well in the second half. But, my son Jack, we went back with me, and then I had my nephew and my two sisters there. So it was great. The hospitality was awesome. And I'm really glad I went back. It was, good to see Aaron playing the black and gold, and just a lot of great conversation around certain people coming to, say hello in the box. So it was a great night.
Hey, I heard your post up in a corner, pinky ring, Kangol on. Everybody's coming through saying, thanks for coming back to town. That's what I heard they were saying. I heard that's how it was going. Well earned, brother. Well earned over there in Pittsburgh. And obviously that evening showcased the worst uniforms maybe in the history of ball, those yellow ass cheeks that they had on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Had Bret Michaels obviously absolutely slaughtering it. And how was the performance? Bret Michaels' performance pretty good?
Crushed it. No, he was awesome. The whole night was awesome, but yeah, Bret was excellent.
Okay.
He really had the crowd going.
We've had conflicting reports from the stadium that maybe some places couldn't hear him as good, so maybe that's why the second half went the way that it went. But nonetheless, happy to hear that you liked.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's some of that happening out there, Coach. Some of that happening out there. So I'm happy you enjoyed it.
Yep.
You got to go. You have front row seat. That's good. And then there was "Go Pack Go" chants allegedly that turned the Pittsburgh Steelers into having to use a silent count at home. Bruce Arians, former Pittsburgh Steelers coach, says, "I'm embarrassed for the Steelers fans." But other than that, what do we learn on the field? AJ has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, I don't know how many times you've watched the Packers or the Steelers offense play as a fan. I know as a kid, I'm sure you have, but watching Aaron from the stands, as a fan, what was that like, and what do you think his game looks like? He's moving around pretty well out there, and we know he obviously can still throw the ball.
Yeah, I think he's really starting to settle in. I really felt that way watching him against Cincinnati, the week before. And, I mean, it's like practice every day, AJ. You've been there. He makes, 3 or 4 throws. You just, they're routine, but his ball placement is still off the charts. He's starting to use his legs more, but I thought he looked good. The uniforms were different. Mine some of the, throwbacks that you guys wore back in the day, but it really was. It was a great atmosphere. The Go Pack Go. We've heard that so many times on the road. That was something I didn't think I'd ever hear in Pittsburgh. But it was a really cool night, and I thought Green Bay really stepped it up in the second half. I've seen Green Bay play live three times now, and seeing them in person, I've been very impressed. Week 1, week 2, and then this past game against Pittsburgh.
AJ says whenever he watches a game, and I think a lot of ex-players say their natural tendency is to watch the position that they played. Okay, so AJ probably watching like linebacker potentially playing whenever he first retired. For me, obviously, I watched quarterback. That was kind of what I do in that entirety. When you're easy, 4-stringer. Brother, watch Thanksgiving. Go see the perfect passer rating. Okay, I don't know how often you played there, but Coach, are you watching and like calling plays in your head, or thinking about like what you would do next if you were calling the plays? Is that happening for you, especially with like Aaron? Like, okay, Aaron's doing this. I think we should probably do this next. And have you done that with every game that you've watched? If that question makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense because I just think we're all a product of our experience. I watch it more from a game plan perspective. I'm always very interested in who's playing with quicker tempo, the game operation, play entry, things like that, substitution, particularly, watching Aaron, he had the one offsides that wasn't called, but, the free play opportunities and things like that. So, and then obviously the third down, the red zone, the situational and the game management stuff. So I think you tend to just really try to go in the ebb and flow of the game. And it's funny because, you're sitting there trying to watch the game, and it's cool. But when you have other people around you that want to talk and ask questions, and you're like, come on, man, it's 3rd and 5 here.
Yeah. Coach,
pay attention. I mean, it's, what defense are they in? So, I mean, yeah. So, no, it's I think you watch the game from what you're used to. So I just really try to really stay in tune with the situations. And because, it's just like you look at that game, there's 2 or 3 plays for Pittsburgh that go the other way, then, maybe it's a tighter ball game in the second half. So, it just, because, the ebb and flow of the game is so critical to the success in our league. And I think it's just the parity has been so evident that games are that competitive, and, the big plays just can swing in that momentum, so far to the left, and that sometimes you can't get it back.
Watching in public is certainly difficult, with people around it. I don't want to say like I'm some super football expert, but Jesus, when you watch a game in public and you hear some things that people are saying, it's like, this gotta be dumb. Has this person ever... Have you ever watched the sport before? It is hard, isn't it, Coach? It is. I couldn't even imagine for you. I could not even imagine for you. But it is. It's great how much people love it, though. Which is part of it all. Part of it all. You talked about the second half there for the Green Bay Packers. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach. The second half numbers are coming out with the Steelers, and it's pretty bad. Hembo sent some stuff, just basically saying, yeah, here it is. The Mike Tomlin Steelers allowed fewer points per game in 2008, 2011, and 2010 than they're allowing in the second half alone this season. And, Tony's talked about this a lot. It's not as big of a deal if there wasn't so much money on the defensive side. And what I want to ask you about is this clip from Footballin' with Big Ben and Spank.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, when I was there, and for as long as I can remember, were the best in the world, or one of the best in the world, at making halftime adjustments. As players, we were proud of the coaches at halftime. Great coaches that were able to make halftime adjustments. We didn't play well in the first half. They were going to make adjustments, and we were going to go on the second half. And as long as we executed and did what we were supposed to do, the adjustments made at halftime were going to give us an opportunity to win. As I'm watching these games, it doesn't feel like the adjustments are being made. Again, I'm not in the locker room. Maybe they are, and the players aren't. I don't know. This is just my opinion. Now, is that coaching? Is it players? Is it adjustments? Is it lack of adjustments? I don't know. But it just feels like the second half of ball games, we stink, I'm just asking a question: are we making the proper adjustments?
Yeah, so Coach, obviously even Big Ben is kind of questioning, and we love Ben. Yeah, that footballing show is electric. He came in the suite too. Awesome guy, and I'm a Patriots fan. I don't even give a shit about the Steelers. But when you're looking at something like that or hearing something like that, and then Tony just let me know 47% of the points they've given up have come in the fourth quarter. What the hell's going on? Because it feels like there has been, especially the past few years, where there's been issues with the offense or defense, and the halftime adjustments have been called into question. And obviously they let go of Matt Canada midseason, which was very kind of not the Steeler way, if you will. Do you see something happening with the defense when it comes to something along those lines? And what's your kind of understanding of it after being in there on Sunday night?
Well, I think you've hit on a couple excellent points here. I think number one, first off, you got to love Ben's beard. It's looking sharp.
yeah.
Great.
Amen.
That was strong. But
It was.
I would say second half adjustments. I've never been, one to say, hey, let's get in there at halftime and get this adjust. I mean, because it's really from the coach's perspective is going on the whole game. I mean, if your coaches aren't, if your communication network is not, flowing through the whole course of the game, then yeah, there's something wrong there. Halftime really gives you a chance to go down and show some pictures as a group, do more group talking and things like that, and addressing kind of it's more of a reset. So I think the adjustment component is something you just got to look at, the flow of what's going on. I mean, I think when you get into games and you watch trends that continue to happen, then that's a potential issue. I think that's something that it's week 8, week 9. I look at these more as trends. I think that's why you got to really watch how you react to stats. And trust me, every head coach, every general manager, everybody, the analytics departments, the influx of information is constant. So I can promise you that they're looking at it and in the reality of they're going to clearly know what's going on inside. Was the communication? Was there a breakdown on the adjustments that only the players know? Because sometimes, and AJ attested this, that things are said and it's not clear during the course of the game, and sometimes you don't get that ironed out to halftime or get it ironed out, unfortunately, till after the game. And that's, to me, that's really reflective of your communication network that needs to go on throughout the whole game. So. Yeah, I think these are things that they're definitely addressing, and we all understand it when things don't go right and there's a lot of money involved, then the criticism goes way up, and that's justified. And I think that's whether you're a coach, in a situation where that's going on at this time of year in our industry, but also with players. So that's part of the criticism, and the higher the stakes go up in the NFL, the intensity is only going to go up.
I heard Peyton Manning say halftime adjustments were a lie. Okay, I've heard AJ and you say something similar. So whenever players like Ben say, we took a lot of pride in the fact that we made great halftime adjustments, is that just second half calling plays that are good as opposed to calling the same shitty plays from the first half on both sides of the ball? Is that what they're saying?
I can't speak for them, but I think also the big part of play calling is too is the execution. And I think,
Coach.
I mean. Yeah, I mean, I always felt that, a quick good call is better than a late perfect call. And because give it to the player, like my goal as a play caller was to get it to the quarterback as fast as he can. No different if we're talking about the defense. I mean, AJ called the defenses for us in Green Bay. I mean, he's a much better communicator if he has it quickly, because every play call in today's NFL, and it's been like this for decades, there are potential adjustments in pretty much every situation. So, I just think when you talk about the communication network, it's not just halftime. It goes on throughout the whole game. So, because you want to be clear, concise, and get it to the players so that they, because they got to communicate, and the higher the communication, the higher the confidence is, and the higher the execution level will go up.
Yeah, and like the Patriots, as an example, they are terrible in the first quarter of games. So if you go back and look at a lot of the games they've won, they're down either after the first 10 minutes or first quarter.
Slow starter.
Yeah, always. And then their defense after the first quarter, the numbers are insane. So that's why the adjustment thing feels real, but maybe not just halftime.
Now, on that note, you talk about quick, good play call instead of being late. And AJ had the green dot. AJ.
What?
I heard Chase Daniels.
Oh
yeah.
I heard Chase Daniels do a play call in his helmet. What it would be like. I obviously never got to experience that. That would have been so cool to be able to have that happen before going out on the field and then trying to do something very, very difficult. But now that I know that you've been this guy, and we know you're super chatty and stuff like that. So can you just walk us? Can you walk us through? Because there's no other mics anywhere. Can you walk us through what a huddle would be? I'm a huddle with you here. I want to feel like I'm in the huddle.
I think
I'm a part of the Green Bay.
A little different. First off, it's not going to be nearly the conversation, the communication that Chase had.
Okay.
It would be very, very simple. It'd say, tight roll me two, Buster. Tight roll me two, Buster.
Okay, any situations I should be thinking about, leader?
No, that's the problem. That's the thing. When it's going in your ear, you got to say it as the coach is telling me. So I'm speaking, but I can't hear myself as I'm yelling it to the rest of the whole defense and repeating it over and over. I've seen guys freak out like that, and all of a sudden they get the speaker and it starts coming in, and they just freak out and panic and can't tell you the call. I've seen that happen.
All right, can you give me one more?
No, never call a timeout. Do you have your ears in? Never call a timeout. If you're on defense, you call your favorite blitz or your favorite defense, buddy, and you tell them, sorry, pal, it didn't come through my speaker.
I couldn't hear a word you were saying. I need you to be louder.
Raucous environment.
Jeez, we're just a Lambo, bro.
Yeah.
Fourth down. Coach, did you hear that bullshit? We couldn't hear a word
Can you
you were
imagine
saying.
a defensive coach? Can you imagine as an offensive coach? Coach, if a defensive player called a timeout because he couldn't get the defensive call in, I would assume you'd be a little bit upset at me if I would have done that. I'd just give us a call, right? I can give the defense a call.
Absolutely. No, you always have to have a go-to call. So
I was D-tackle there, too. I was turning around listening to you. Imagine D-tackle calls timeout because I can't hear him.
Wait, what's AJ?
No.
AJ, what's your favorite go-to call, though? If you couldn't hear, what's your favorite go-to call?
I don't know. It's a little double A-gap blitzers.
There you go.
That's most likely to call.
Why is that? Why is that? Who gets to go?
Well, I'd go first and go ram my skull into the first person and hopefully ricochet into the quarterback.
All right, that's awesome. Thank you for taking us inside a huddle with you, AJ. That was an honor.
Yeah.
God, Hall of Fame nominee. Got a chance to hear it.
I know.
Did you hear that?
Chase had a lot of communication in that one.
That was much different than the offensive.
Well, I couldn't hear a word you were saying. Chase had a lot more projection in his voice. Did you hear him do that? What was your play calls like? Let's say, oh, here we go. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the one you want to do.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you want to play call?
Yep, need one. Right
I'll
now.
just go old school with you. Well, the other part too, you got blue right, C left, two jet flanker drive, X corner.
Blue right, C left, two right, drive, down to the X corner, Brady. Yeah. Okay, let's get another one.
Would you say anything after, Coach? Would you say anything after, like, hey, watch him play in cover two? Or did you, like, if you had time?
George Pickens is balling right now. Get in the ball.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, every quarterback that, as far as a play entry, like some guys wanted to play, like Brett Favre. Brett was like, "Hey, tell me to play. You could talk to me all the way up to 15 seconds." He was fine. Now Rich Gannon, because these are the guys I kind of learned with as a quarterback coach and coordinator, is Rich Gannon wanted to play and get the hell off just get out of my ear, because he was gonna talk more, and Aaron was more like Rich. Dak was probably a little more like, so I mean, every guy was a little different, and that was really, we called a play caller's purpose. And the play caller in the quarterback room, you spend a ton of time talking about each play call in the game, because you go through your offseason, you put the plays in, and these are for normal down and distance. But if we use this same play in third down, then there are adjustments that go with it. So there's a lot of conversation that goes on about each and every play with the quarterback. So we the purpose of the play call. So you always might want to tag a reminder, with that, particularly if you're using, in a 4 vertical scheme in first and second down as opposed to a 4 vertical scheme in third down, because obviously the coverage will be tighter. The matchup emphasis is maybe different. You change the formation, but the concept's the same. So I think that, the biggest thing for quarterbacks, and that's why, so much as it goes into these off-season programs, is these conversations. It's always the little stuff. It's the little things that you can give, not only you give to the quarterback, but he can give to the X receiver breaking the huddle, or to the tight end on a vertical scheme. Make sure you hit the inside edge of the hash. Just all those little coaching reminders. Particularly the biggest ones, I think that's where you were going, was in protection. Your protection adjustments are always, that's really the starting point of getting the plate. You set the plate, set the table, get everything ironed out, make sure you got a solid protection, because from a passing game standpoint, you feel if you got a clean pocket, then you should be able to defeat the defense.
Okay, I'd love to hear all that from your brain. Honestly, thank you for allowing us in on all that information. That is incredible to hear, especially from somebody that did it at such a high level for so damn long. I would need the wristband, I think, just kind of getting into the offense, but it's 4th and 8, okay? 4th and 8, 47 seconds left. We have no timeout. We're on our own 32. Okay, I do have George Pickens, and I do have C.D. Lamb, and I am the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And you need to act as if I am Brett Favre or Dak. Like, I don't mind the reminders here. What would be your play call? 4th and 8 on your own 30, whatever it was. 47 seconds left, no timeout. Got to have it. We're down 4. Okay, we are down 4, need a touchdown, and I like you being chirpy. Okay, so I'm in the huddle, please.
Okay, you got to just go double right, 2-jet, X knife, Z Puma. Just you want to get in a 2x2, give you an option based off where they're going to tilt the coverage because you got CD on one side. Obviously you got George on the other side. So if George gets the one-on-one, don't forget we call
the team to play, Pat. You got to tell the offense to play too. He forgot to tell him to play.
We don't have a timeout, Coach. When am I telling them to
You
play?
got to tell him to play as he's telling you. And
Oh,
you
my
gotta
just
tell him
give
to play.
You said chatty, man. I'm
No, I know, but when am I supposed to tell the boys what the hell we're doing?
He's not waiting on you to respond. He's waiting. You got to tell the play. You got to tell the guy.
I already gave you the play.
Yeah, but when am I telling the boys what you're telling me about if George is single right there? So that's
I was explaining the play. Hey, double right, 2-jet flanker drive, Z Puma. Don't forget about the one-on-one with George. Take the Kodak. Oh, you got it. If not, throw the end breaker down.
Yeah, got a 5-yard penalty, maybe a 10-second runoff if things already wrong. This is tough stuff.
Oh my God.
Hey, we need to work on this in the offseason.
Yeah.
It sounds like I need to be paying a little bit more attention in the offseason. That's insane to think about that right there.
Yeah, but if you know his quarters, you can just throw it deep, baby. You can hit CD or George Pickens. So why not?
We're not getting into that.
Yeah.
Coach, we appreciate the opportunity there to kind of dive into what your life is on a regular basis and has been for a long time. That was cool. I got no shot. I think I'm more of a freestyler, Coach.
Sure.
I think I would be doing can't hear.
Yeah. Well, we've seen that before.
Yeah, I think that happens a lot. I think some of the quarterbacks that have actually done it have come on this show and go like, other guys, things like they say it's not working, it doesn't work. Mine actually go out every single time I do that. It's like, yeah, sounds like that's what everybody says. Yeah. All right, let's go to massive game this weekend. Obviously, historic type shit, especially if you look at literally the history of these two teams. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Coach, you talked a little bit ago about the parity in the NFL, and while I think that is definitely true, coming off a weekend in which we had more blowouts since 1970 or whatever it was, Chiefs and Bills always deliver no matter what. They've, basically the AFC has kind of come down to one of these two teams for the last several years, it seems like. What do you think about this game? How do you see it going? And does this remind you at all of like maybe Packers when you were coaching them and Seahawks, where you kind of knew no matter what, you might have a game in the regular season, but there was a good championship that come, NFC championship or deep in the playoffs, like you were going to see this team again?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've talked on the show, before about, division games. I've always loved the division games because they were always the most competitive games of the season. But when you do have the perennial playoff, contender that you'd see almost annually, this may even go to a different level. So this will play like a playoff game, and that's the way these guys will, they'll view it, but won't talk about it because the intensity is going to be real because there is history. There's great history. You got two marquee MVP championship level quarterbacks, that will highlight it. But yeah, this game will be of tremendous intensity. But you always love playing in those games. I mean, Seattle. I think of Seattle and Green Bay, particularly in the regular season. The first thing was where was the game because that was a little bit where the crowd noise still was a factor. I think the offenses in today's NFL do such a better job at the line of scrimmage. And I know it's something, coming out of the 90s and the early 2000s, you really had to work on to handle crowd noise. Because, back in the 90s, when I was at the Kansas City Chiefs, we very rarely lost a home game because we had great defense, great special teams, and Arrowhead was just impossible to deal with from a noise standpoint. So I do think the noise factor is always a component that when I think back to those Seattle games, because we had some rough moments up there in Seattle sometimes in our early days with the noise.
Oh my God, I just thought of 4 different rough moments for you guys up in Seattle. Literally, as you said that, just 4 different John Ryan's throwing a touchdown on one of them.
Oh yeah, that was the big one.
John Ryan's like this right here.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Can see AJ in that one too. AJ was in the worst spot possible on that play.
Well, that's because he called a double-A blitz for himself.
They did.
That's what he did. Oh, Coach McCarthy not happy.
What are you guys doing here?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We were trying to exclamation point your point that, yes, we do remember the times up in Seattle. Now, on that note, there were some times in Green Bay. Let's go, Bay, huh? Ain't that right, Ty?
Yeah, definitely. That NFC championship game in Seattle, though. That one will stick with me for the rest of my life. Like, I'm sure it'll stick with both
Sure,
of these
maybe.
guys.
Yeah.
for the rest of
You know
my
how
life.
mad Patriots fans were? You know how mad Patriots fans were? We finally were going to have Rodgers versus Brady in the Super Bowl. It was the most mad I've ever been at the Green Bay Packers because they screwed us.
Okay, so let's get away from that. Obviously, when you're in the game for a long time, these moments are going to happen. Congrats to you both on getting to the top of the mountain, still be champions
Hell yeah,
for the rest
boys.
of your life.
That's right.
Rest of your life, because there's some of us, that never. Okay, I thought you were going to pull your ring out right there. Instead, it was that. Then, were you? I don't know if you were with the Packers still at the time of the replacement refs. Were you there for that?
Oh yeah,
The failure, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
we were both there.
Yeah.
Coach, is it hard?
Man, what do we do? We gotta have better. We gotta have a production meeting or something. Christ, I'm bleeding all over the place.
Jeez.
I'm so sorry. All right, let's go through all my worst days, okay? I'm sorry that we
that was a bad day. Now that was.
I know. I understand. I'm so sorry I brought those up. But you brought up the bad days in Seattle, so I'm sorry that my brain.
I brought up crowd noise. I didn't say anything about having bad days.
all right. Oh, that's right. Well, in my head, I heard you say that, and then so many bad days. And I once again, they popped up in my brain. So obviously, being a part of it has to be different. Hey, we won't let you know. Let's bury the ball. Let's bury the ball. We're going to bury that ball. Okay, 4 of them, I guess. We're going to bury 4 of those balls, and we're going to move on. We appreciate you, Packers boys. We appreciate you, Packers boys. Now, football is awesome. Parody a couple different times. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Pat mentioned parity. Coach, what do you think? Last week we had a slate of games where there was a bunch of blowouts. We don't really see in the NFL that often. I guess, is there a reason for this? Is this a time of year? Like, why do you think we did see so many blowouts?
Well, I think a lot of things. There's a lot of variables that go into this, but when I see stats like this, I know as a head coach, one of the one of the things you enjoy the most is competing with the other, NFL coaches as far as how you train your team. So, to have that many blowout games, at this point in the season, I think you got to take a look at it. Why? Just when you look at the CBAs. In 2011 and in 2020, less time with players and, the youth, the NFL is a younger league now. So does that mean also the backups are younger? You look at the injury challenge that you have every single year. Are we doing a better job helping in that area as far as the training and things leading into that, to sports science? I just think there's so many factors. Now you can also say, well, it just timed up that this team was hot and that team wasn't. But I think these are things the league really needs to pay close attention to, because I think you can go down a bunch of rabbit holes here, because when you look at the success of the National Football League, the first thing is you look at the money, and the money is off the charts. It's greater than it's ever been. But I mean, is the quality of play? How are you evaluating the quality of play? So when you see things like this, I know for me personally, I go right to the training. Okay. There's so much that goes into how you train your team in the off-season program, how you train your team in training camp, how you're in-season training, because all the adjustments you have to make with this injury challenge, the development of the back half of your team, because your younger players, your backup players, are you spending money on the middle class of free agency for your backup players, or you're also solely investing clearly in the young players as the backup too. So all these different components play into it. And I just think when you get there, you'll see the separation in the competitive level, and you have games like this. So I hope this is just an accident, but I think it's a bit alarming is the quality of play. We talked about September football, and I've felt September football has been, not very good. And in the last 10, 12 years, didn't really pay attention to it that much in my early years as a head coach. But I started trying to train differently in training camp to do certain things in September, just because I just think that's the way this thing's gone, because less time with players and coaches does not equate to higher quality play. I don't care what the numbers say, what goes into it. And I think that is showing up here. That's rearing its head more and more, in my opinion, as we move forward here. I just wish there could be more time, particularly even if it's just with the younger players. And AJ, I go to our experience in Green Bay, and we had the thing called Vet Select, and the vets thought it was great that they were, getting some time off and things like that. But the other side of that was it was giving the coaching staff more time with the younger players. So these younger players are playing more and more each and every year. They're playing earlier. especially if you also, if your roster, development or your profile is that you're young all the way through, particularly even with your backups, where's the extra training to make sure these guys are ready to play? Because let's also, let's throw in the injuries. When guys aren't totally ready to play, they play what? With a little less confident player on the NFL field, and injury risk can go up. So I just think there's a lot of rabbit holes you can run through here when you see a statistic like last week. That's the first thing that hit me. I was like, wow, I mean, that's something you got to continue to talk about.
Now,
with that being said, they're not, they're making more money than they ever have, so nothing's going to change. So thanks for giving me a chance to, just add a lib here.
No, you're sticking up for coaches there. Sticking up for coaches a lot.
No, absolutely.
Coaches get judged.
They don't have enough time with their players.
Exactly, but players get drafted off of potential. And then what do coaches say? Well, potential gets your ass fired. Potential is only really potential if you have the ability to work and get to that, and that's where the coaches come in. Coaches are getting judged on that, on, hey, this was the potential. This is where he's at. This is on the coaches. And then the coaches are like, you guys have cut into all of our training time. And I think what you're hearing from Coach McCarthy there is not just him, but the coaching community as a whole when it comes to the NFL. Whenever you talk about the new CBA, the amount of training time, we'll drop this off, we'll cut this off. And the people that are making those decisions, you're saying, are only worried about what percentage of the money are either side getting and what is the money, as opposed to what the product is on the field, which is literally all the coaches are being judged about. Is that an accurate take on why you feel that way?
No, absolutely. No, that's part of it. But I mean, we get into this profession and understands the risk. So, I mean, it's not as much about that. I just, we want to be the best that we can be. And the biggest thing about coaching is developing every player to his fullest ability, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And less time with those players doesn't help that cause. So I would just like to see more time with the players, particularly off season and frankly, more padded work. More padded work in training camp.
Well, are you making a guardian for shoulder pads, and thigh pads? And I know the tailbone pad maybe disappeared. We need to bring that back too. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe bubble ball.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe bubble ball in the offseason. You guys will get the physicality and the reps. Players get the safety because you can put them in those things.
Yeah.
They can do walkthroughs. You know what I mean? Everybody can kind of get blown up in those as well. Don't you think that could be but they're not going to let more training take place, like in that kind of.
No, I know. I just think the offensive line has been at a disadvantage, and I don't know if I've said this on the show before. I can remember when I was on the coaches Madden committee, and the late great John Madden would always bring it up, and he'd say, "How can we help these offensive linemen? I mean, they're at such a disadvantage coming out of training camp because they have the least amount of time to get ready to do their job because of only a certain amount of padded practices. Where the off season the perimeter guys can still work on their footwork, their timing, and there's a lot more training opportunity for the perimeter players.
Yeah, and if you're going to be a good team, you're going to have a good offensive line. And if you're going to be an ass team, it's probably because you have an ass offensive line. That's kind of how the football goes at this point, Coach McCarthy. And
always has. It always has.
That's football, baby. That's football, Coach, right here. That's what football is. Right. Always will be. Where's game one, Coach? Where's game one?
That?
Where's game one? In trenches. Got to be able to fight somebody in there, Coach. That's football until the very end. No matter how much they soften it, no matter how much they try to change the rules, you're always going to have to be able to punch somebody in the face better than the other team. That's what you're going to have to be able to do in football until the end. Amen. No matter how much they change the rules, that is literally why football is football. And if you look at the teams that win, they are able to fight and win over your team. And you look at the Philadelphia Eagles last year, I mean, that's just like the perfect epitome of old school football coming back in the biggest way here in 2025. They say cyclical. Right now, we're about to see some pounding happen. Oh, pound time.
Big pound.
Every time's turning into pound time, Coach Carr. You know what I'm talking about.
247.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I just think, you look at the playoff teams every year. Look at their offensive, defensive lines. I mean, it's clearly evident.
Go to pound.
You don't make it in the playoffs if you're not able to get it done.
They live there.
It's it'll never change. And I think with the run Philadelphia's on, their offensive line this last decade has been so impressive, and I think it gives you the opportunity to have consistency, and just their level of consistency here the last 5 years is unbelievable.
Yeah, I think your population of Pound Town needs to be a tough group.
Yep.
Hey, that is just what Pound Town in the trenches got to be a tough group of citizens that you got on your squad if you're going to want to win. Now, who are you bringing in to the team maybe if you want to go on a real run? And who the hell are you getting out if your team stinks maybe and is absolute shite? Tone has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, the next time we talk to you, the trade deadline will have passed. And obviously your time with the Packers as head coach, the trade deadline was much different than it was when you were with the Cowboys just a year ago. How has the trade deadline changed, and what is the responsibility of the head coach during the trade deadline?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is I think people don't really understand how much conversation these personnel departments, that's going on. I mean, that's been the same at, every place I've ever worked. So there's a tremendous amount of conversation that goes on. I mean, that's just really those guys doing their jobs. And really, from my experience, it really gets to the head coach when it's really becomes a viable option. So, we didn't do a lot of it at all in Green Bay. There's, more conversation in Dallas, during that period of time. So, but it really comes down to, how can this player help us, at that particular time? And then there's also the financial component to it from a long-term standpoint. So, but these personnel departments, they do a hell of a job. There's a tremendous amount of communication that goes out there. Someone had asked me, do you ever have to talk to players about, when their name's out there in the public, as far as, being part of a trade talks? I really didn't have too many of those situations, because I think really players, in my experience, lean on their agents at that time, because there's a network of communication that goes on, throughout this period, and it obviously heightens with the trade deadline in front of you.
Coach, feels like you handle every situation impeccably. If any university was to reach out to Coach McCarthy and get him as a head coach, not saying you would, I think they would win immediately. And if any NFL team was to reach out to Coach McCarthy, I think they become a winning organization immediately. Yep. We love the hell out of you, Coach. And it's not just because we think you could win anywhere you would go coach again, because that's what you've done your entire career and that you're a Yinzer. It's also because you've helped us win, brother. Yeah. Now, we won't be able to make this pick in the next minute 15, and it's not actually a pick. It's actually just listening to Coach McCarthy describe how he thinks tonight's game's going to go. And if he was to be making a pick off of how we hear his words, like we basically making a pick for him whenever he describes the word, he'd be 5-3 right now.
Not
in
bad.
The playoffs. That's not bad. We won't be able to get that in here in the final moment. Coach McCarthy chit-chatting about that. But we will continue digitally on YouTube, TikTok Live. I think we're also on ESPN Plus. Mm-hmm. We're on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
We're currently
Still doing
on Disney Plus. All those digital things we will continue. And Coach McCarthy will break down what the game's going to happen. And we got 30 seconds to fill here, Coach, until the ESPN show ends. Any messages for the cafes or restaurants out there that are following along across the country, Coach McCarthy?
Yeah, quickly, 5-3, that's bullshit, but we ain't got time to get into that. But Baltimore, I think clearly is getting healthy. Miami, you look at these two teams statistically, there's a lot to sort through here, but I think Baltimore is, I watched them play, last week. I like what they're doing. I think getting Lamar back, staying balanced on offense will serve them well. But I don't even know what the points are. You usually tell them what the points, but
7.5, 7.5, Coach.
Ooh,
here we go, Coach.
Yeah, 7.5.
A lot of points.
On the road.
It's not a division game.
Division, yeah, Coach. Division game's tough with all those
Big
points.
night for the teal and the white. Big night for the teal and the white.
Oh, Tua's fresh. He's wearing a visor again.
Clean.
He's wearing a visor again.
No, I really like Miami's front. I think clearly you look at them on paper, they're starting to produce. I mean, the pass defense is something that it'll be interesting if Baltimore tries to get after them there. But both teams run the ball well. Turnover ratio will probably be a big deal in this. I think one's -5 and one's -6. So whoever takes care of the football will probably prevail tonight. So there's some evolutionary comment right there.
Yeah, it is. It really is evolutionary, because the stat you need to look for is the turnovers normally and see who wins the game. I forget what the percentages are, but if you win a turnover battle by like 2, I think it's like a 75. Yeah, I think whatever. Yeah. And then 3+ is some absurd number. And then obviously if you're able to take care of it. Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys at Bubba Gumpino. What did you hear Coach McCarthy say there? How does he think the game's going to go? And what are your thoughts on his thoughts?
Sounds like he was leaning Baltimore until the spread was spoken of. So I think he's leaning Fins to keep it tight tonight by the sounds of things.
Yeah, he said both teams can run the ball well. We heard him talk about the trenches earlier.
Yeah.
AJ, what did you hear from former ball coach here, what he was saying?
I heard the coach might be leaning Baltimore. He said they're getting healthy. Lamar wants to put on a show, and he thinks that Dolphins that win may have gone to their head a little bit. They're taking them easy.
That's interesting. So Gumpy says one way, AJ says the other way.
Classic.
At Toxic Table, are you just as befuddled as I am in this entire process, Ty?
Well, like we mentioned, with it being 7.5 and kind of starting on Baltimore, it's not a division game. It's not too many points for a division game. So I think Coach is going to stick with the Ravens here.
Yeah, it's the biggest put up or shut up game of all time, you could argue. Lamar, put up or shut up. You got rid of all of our fun games. You better go out there and play your ass off. And on the other side is Tua. You've been bumping your gums about how the leadership sucks. And you got a huge win on Sunday. You can go from 1-6 to 3-6 in 6 days. Time to put up or shut up.
Yeah, I think it is big time put up or shut up.
Yeah.
Put up toys or shut up
Mm-hmm.
for Baltimore.
Yeah.
Put up something or just see ya, I guess, is kind of how Dolphins fans might be feeling.
Yeah.
So how's he feel, you think?
I don't know.
He's a big pull-up, shut-up guy, feels like.
Yeah.
I think he just had a homecoming back to Pittsburgh. He know Lamar's having a homecoming back down to Miami. You think he's a big night for the purple and black.
Oh, because he had a great night back in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but that team
was there.
That team in the homecoming didn't have the best night.
Yeah, the away team.
Oh, yeah, you're right. In the ass uniforms. The dog right behind you is beautiful. What's the name of the dog?
That is Gus.
Oh,
great name.
What a name.
Great dog name. Great dog name. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great dog.
Taking that.
Is that a majestic golden retriever that's all white like Peter and Ben, rest in peace, and Mitch and Herb Street's type dog? Is that what that is, if I'm looking at it accurately?
That's a yellow lab. He's a yellow lab. He's a hunting dog.
How is he? How old?
7 years old.
Oh,
master champion. Yeah.
What's that?
Excuse me?
He's a master champion. He's got his 11 medals. So yeah.
Okay, Masters champion. What? So he goes to Augusta. What happened?
Bird dog. Yeah, he's a bird dog.
Oh, so he gets the bird. He gets a bird faster than any other dog.
Yeah, duck, pheasant. Yeah, he's.
Are we dock jumping with him as well? Or
as soon as I get off this damn show, I'm going. I get going duck hunting.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I'm slowing up your duck hunt. Obviously, Paul. We do the entirety of it all. Are you calling ducks as well? Are you calling ducks as well?
No, I am an amateur when it comes to bird hunting. So.
And you got an 11-time champion. How's this get mad? Does Gus lead you to duck hunting, or you lead Gus to duck hunting? How did this come?
Hey, he was bred. He was bred to be a champion, so I let him fulfill his dreams.
11 times.
No, it's a good dog. No, you got to get 11 ribbons. That's what it is. 11 ribbons. You got to go through the different classifications to get the master champion.
Oh, like karate. I get it.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Black belt of bird hunting.
Dungeons and Dragons, obviously, valedictorians do that. Okay, we appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. You're the man, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah,
Good luck on the duck hunt.
Wait. What's his pick?
Oh, yeah. Who do you like?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's muted.
No. Who's my pick?
Yeah.
So it's 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
That's not.
All right, I'm going to go against the grain here. I'm going to go Baltimore.
Wow.
All right.
Not division game.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
It's not. I don't like. That's a lot of points, but.
Hey,
yeah, I think I like Lamar going home. I think that's gonna.
Yep. See.
Are we in a blind? Where are we? Where are we headed to?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How many do you get to shoot?
Carson going?
Oh, he's going.
I lost you.
The Ducks got you. The Ducks got you. That's them fighting back. Quack, quack, coming in and attacking you. You're in a blind?
Yes, we'll be in a blind.
Okay, how many people?
Well, I'll let you know if I go.
So he's just yelling Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, go.
Too many questions.
He had enough of the shits, okay?
What's with all this damn show?
What's with all the questions? What's with all the questions?
Going good interrogate up here.
That is hilarious because we've won with him until like 1:45 every week. I bet after that he's just looking down at his clock like,
we're still going.
what the fuck's going on? It's supposed to be out here 20 minutes
2
ago.
o'clock. We fucked it up. I guess it's 1 o'clock Central is where he is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
1 o'clock pickup for Duck.
Yeah, still got to go
Gus,
fucking pack my
off
lunch.
camera.
Gus is waiting on me.
Camera, yeah. Gus is all full of piss and vinegar
Tapping his
waiting on
leg.
Could you imagine him booping him underneath the table?
Yeah.
Hey, 12th ribbon on the way.
What do you want me to do, Gus? I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. I mean,
These guys can't take the hit. All right. So he picked Baltimore.
yeah.
Baltimore.
He's the best, dude. Hey, college started that way. I would have
He
taken
could do it.
assistant coaching job at Pitt. 25 years, they would have offered that for me. I would do it.
You're taking it.
You just give me a regular price, right, for the time that we're in? For 20, yeah, I'll take it. You just get what, medium price just the whole way?
It's commonplace, like Patricia on offense, except times 1,000.
Just creating a monster there and then never leaving. Actually, I'm just going to stay coordinator here, yeah.
He could go Wisconsin. Right in his
He
backyard.
played tight end himself. He was a tight end in college.
Gosh, so is MCDC. So is Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
So is J.J. Watt.
Dicka.
So is Ditka.
Mike McDaniel.
He did not, okay?
Oh, shit.
You got you.
Slot receiver, I was thinking.
Yes, exactly. He's running routes with McVay out there.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Yale.
Shout out, yo.
Shout out very smart people. And shout out to the Miami Dolphins. All right, Gumpy, we're going to make our picks, and let's get the hell out of here. Gumpy, you say what? As Tone tells us, the percentage that is on the public and the percentage that is with the sports book, and any other fun factoids about tonight's Thursday night football battle.
Tonight, the Ravens are minus 7.5 heading down to Hard Rock. They are getting 69% of the bets against the spread, which is the same exact percentage as the Chiefs on Monday night when they took care of business down there. It is 7.5 across the board. You cannot get it any other way.
Okay, over under 51.5. Where's that rank amongst
That's
the
pretty high. It's a pretty high NFL total.
Especially
They're both over teams, though.
Go on, go.
Okay.
Dolphins been over. Their defense looked better last week. Like I said, I've been saying it all week. They started using 6-0 linemen. They averaged over 7 yards a play when they did that. They got to stick with it. But if they fall behind and they get pass happy, that's when they're going to get into trouble.
Your confidence level pretty high.
I've been so negative when they lose that since they won and look so good, I got to ride the wave. I got to support the boys right now. Malik Washington touchdown tonight is plus 400, I think. He's been the second guy since Tyreek has got hurt. He returns kicks and punts.
Dog.
He's electric. 6th rounder out of Virginia last year. I love him.
Baby Gumps. Thank you, Gumpy.
Is Marlon Humphrey playing? Do we know?
Don't.
Playing ping pong?
Yeah,
No.
that's what I'm saying.
Not playing ping pong.
He's on that field.
They're not playing ping pong over there. We appreciated Lamar being the one coming out and saying it was me. We were taking the TVs out too. I'm about sick of it. We don't need to.
Yeah, Mr. Steve.
We're all doing that. Mr. Steve,
Steve.
thank you for the TVs. Mr. Steve, we love these TVs, but just can't have them. Take the remotes, unplug them. It can't have power to the locker room. We need to lock in. They do, but people think they're going to. People think they're going. Sportsbooks think they're going to lock in and go on a run. I think that's just because of our belief on who this Baltimore Ravens team is, even though this year with our eyes, and we're getting pretty deep in the season now. Okay, we just had our midseason awards. Okay, we're getting pretty deep into the season. Our eyes are kind of telling us something that maybe they aren't who we thought they were. And does that make sense because we haven't seen them with Lamar over the last few weeks? No. So that's why tonight on prime time with the world watching, Lamar returned to Miami. He's going to go absolutely ham, AJ Hawk? Is that what you're expecting from Lamar Jackson?
Yes, that would be my prediction. I'm taking the Ravens minus 7.5 on the road tonight. I think Lamar, he comes out there and, he's a jolt of energy for this Ravens team, and they play well on offense and defense.
I will be doing the exact same, strictly because I've been, traveling with a Miami Dolphins fan. I feel like I know this Dolphins team pretty well. I feel like I I know their players. I know the way they operate. I know the way ownership likes to operate. I know the way general manager / president / guy who has a lot to say for a long time down there likes to operate. Just certain things, I think. Not necessarily every single day of his life or their lives, but just their worst decisions for sure. I'm hearing about those on a regular basis. And in my eye, I see some stuff. And it's like, yeah, that seems to match up with everything that I'm hearing from, lifelong fan of team who is just, what are we doing? What do we do? From the offseason when they traded away all their good players and then said, yeah, we're trying to try to win this year. It's like, well, yeah, we got to figure it out. Did you guys get rid of the drama that was in there? No, it's still on. We got rid of actually the people that like this team and were like proud to be on the team. So it's like, okay, so what is the plan down there? And then it starts going the way that it's going, and you immediately think to yourself, like, I guess Miami Dolphins fans could probably say that this was going to be ass from the very beginning, but they had a blind optimism strictly because they had seen success in the past. And in my eyes, they have a huge win against the Falcons. That was awesome.
Massive.
Huge win. Is that enough to just swing the pendulum to be able to stop the Lamar Jackson momentum that's coming that everybody's expecting, including sportsbooks who are risking a lot of money by saying they think he's going to come back and dominate, and they seemingly are right on a regular basis? I like the Baltimore Ravens as well. And this Miami Dolphins experiment thing, it's going to be fun to talk about like 10 years from now. Like it is good. Because they could still they have all the talent down there.
For sure.
And legitimately, just like Dolphins fans were able to sell themselves on this Dolphins team, that's still all there. Now, granted, no Tyreek Hill, so that is a game changer for his electricity. But still, offensive innovation, a quarterback that can make great decisions, get the ball out quickly, defense can make some stops. We've got some special teams. We've been able to win games in the past. It's like this Dolphins team has everything that could get. And Waddle's faster than everybody still.
Fast.
And, we hope to see a lot of Waddle. And we hope Waddle in the end zone a couple of different times just because he is electrifying. So you can get caught up in the wait a minute. The Miami Dolphins are the team. And maybe they are. And maybe tonight they prove it to everybody that what you had seen with them isn't actually who they is. And then on the flip side of that, maybe last week was the anomaly.
Possible.
And maybe this Baltimore Ravens team figures out how to play defense.
Yeah.
I like the Baltimore Ravens tonight, -7.5, strictly because I can bet on Lamar Jackson with clear conscience. It's tough for me to do that on the other side.
That's fair.
There was one other massive change last week. Frank Smith, the OC, first time in 2 years he was down on the field with the guys.
He's talking to the boys.
And he was actually the reason Darren Waller said he'd only come out of retirement to play for him or John Gruden. So that made a big difference last week as well. Best the offense has looked all year.
Coach Smith down on the sideline? Frank, you said?
Big Frank Smith, yeah.
Francis Smith, they say whenever he's around.
Yeah.
The boys feel it.
Everybody.
I just didn't want to leave anything out.
Wait, is Big Mike calling plays or is Big Frank calling plays?
What's that?
Big Mike McDaniel calling plays or is Big Frank calling plays?
I think it's a Mike and Frank duo.
Okay.
I think it's Little Mike, too, since we have a Big Mike.
Big Mike was great on the show today.
Yeah.
He was so good today.
You think he's going duck hunting?
I mean, he's got a fucking 11-time award-winning dog.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Like, if he was not duck hunting, they'd be wasting that dog.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I mean? And all
Well, you got to train him. That's what a dog's trained to do. You need to take him out, and that's what he wants. It's his drive.
All that dog wants to do is just go get a bird.
Yes.
Yeah. Wakes up. How much longer until I get a chance to go get this fucking bird?
He just wakes up, see bird, get bird.
Bingo.
Just like AJ woke up, see ball, get ball.
AJ actually woke up and said, let me punish myself in this weight room for 2 hours to showcase that I still have discipline and I'm humble. Then let me go
Then
tackle
see
a
ball,
football.
get ball.
Yeah.
Didn't he, when he got drafted, he was coming right out of the weight room? They said he was
So Andrew Brandt said.
I'll never forget it. AJ comes in,
dripping sweat.
dripping in sweat from a workout. I say, do you want to go through this? You go, no, I see my agent got it. I was, yep.
Sign on the dotted line.
I just want to play football and lift weights.
Point me to the weight room.
Click clack, dude. Also, they're paying me. So.
You're right, yeah. Always.
Hey, you had a good click clack moment there for a long time. That was a good ad campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
That was really good. We're still talking about it. The youngs would never understand.
No.
When click clack came through. Changing the cleats game, dude.
First year they had football cleats. It was my rookie year.
What was another game-changing commercial with sounds? The Squeak basketball?
Yeah, the Nike basketball ones, yep.
The
Budweiser frogs.
Great one.
Great.
Ribbit.
The basketball, Christmas
Ribbit.
jingle where they're shooting threes and it's just
Oh, yeah.
the bells. on the nets.
Clydesdales during Christmas time
Yep.
Good sounds.
for Coca-Cola.
Click
Good
clack.
sounds.
That was kind of a click clack too.
Those are good Super Bowl commercials. They need to do that. I'm not getting anybody.
I mean, Bud Light's dude.
Yeah, well, it was kind of short lived.
Apple had a run where they
Which
were.
one?
The one where the guy basically just goes around and like his buddies are doing stuff that pisses him off, and he just keeps saying like, "Dude," and it's like
yeah.
those were classic.
And it was the other one. Budweiser had the was.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah, that was the Dudley Boys, right? Well, and more so afterwards, the Dudley Boys. I think it was. And then the 3D. Did.
Apple had a good run where they were just like coming out with banger songs that no one had ever heard of before, but they were sick.
Yeah, that was great. Come along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
one of them. Still listen to it every single day.
Dance
From the
Monkey.
moment I heard it on him.
Yep.
Yeah, where do they find it?
Oh.
That's Jimmy Iovine, I guess.
Yeah,
he's
Apple
got the
Music.
ear.
Yeah.
He's
that
got
would
the
be
ear.
him. Yeah, that's what they say. There's other people that say he couldn't hear my shit. Could he? I saw those on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you're always going to have that. Governor Jeff Landry, thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you, Governor.
Legend.
Busy man.
Busy man. He's going to have to change all of everything.
Yeah.
And also, a gator or two are going to have to die doing that.
Yes, they are.
Ain't that right, AJ?
That's absolutely right.
Right.
Does he have his own gator farm? Do we know?
The whole state? Yeah.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Yes, you're right. He does. He rules all of the land. He can go wherever he wants.
Louisiana. We're Louisiana, yeah. We can go hunt that swamp. Hey, dude.
He's got an airboat parked in his front driveway.
I've been down in Louisiana. I went hogging, frogging, and
Holland, right?
Definitely went holing.
yeah.
Whatever it's called. Yeah. Isn't
You're
it called
plugging holes.
Holland?
Yeah, you go plug holes.
Oh, it's called
Noodling?
Noodling.
Noodling.
Oh, noodling.
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that around gators, they say.
And don't stick your noodle in a hole.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is what they say. And it's, yeah, I think that is what they say. Banana to mouth, not mouth to banana.
Bingo.
They
Sure.
also say. All right.
Hold on.
All right, here we go.
What?
That's what they say.
I think either way it might look similar.
Nope.
Yep, you tried out that
All right,
age.
Tone, show us, Tone.
Whoa.
I'm not your guinea banana.
Jeez.
No, you're my guinea
No,
banana.
all right, okay. All right.
Get it? I'm Italian.
No. Whoa.
Not what I was saying.
Hey. A little bit.
It's Halloween. You can say whatever you want.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Dunn's got a new mustache, new face. Did you see that, Age? That's a big day.
Yeah, he looks
good.
He does look. Honestly, every time he cut, he looks very different. It's weird.
It's true.
Yeah, beard to mustache does kind of change.
He went, didn't you just go full beard to nothing on us one time? Did that happen?
Oh, I think it was
It's like
close.
Tom Selleck right now.
That's cool.
Oh,
You do look good. That's a good beard. Or mustache, I mean.
He dated Monica Geller.
Hey, JC took that thing tight, too.
Yeah, he did. I told him, you got to take it down.
You see Skelly's here. Nice return.
Man. So those kids took that giant thing out of AQ's yard and then brought it back, obviously?
Yeah, one of them. They tried to get two of them, but that son of a bitch on the other side fought back.
Yep.
We got trick or treat tonight, and it's been a monsoon since last night, and it's still going, yeah.
Tonight, I thought it was on Friday. Everybody does
No,
Friday.
come on. It's so hot. You don't trick or treat on Friday night because there's high school football on Friday night. No one's ever done that here.
God, that's awesome.
I didn't even think about that.
Love that.
You're lost, brother.
Wait a minute.
No, we don't. Trick or treat's a great added weeknight that feels like a weekend night. It's
No,
beautiful.
definitely. In my mind, in my head, and I think back as a young lad, young boy, I think about middle of the week Halloween is what I think about.
When we were young, it actually never fell on the weekend.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Stat that.
It did kind of feel like
It
that.
felt like that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you go to school, obviously do the thing, and then you have the night. It was like a full
Feel
thing.
like shit at school the next day always because you ate so much candy the night before.
Exactly. Felt so cool staying up real late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also hustling. This one's for my brother who's sick. You know, 2 different pillowcases.
Yep.
He's at home. He wasn't able to call. This is for my brother. He's sick. Got the flu. It's terrible. Thank you. They got big candy bars here. That's my brother, my sister, too.
Yep.
Have to go and collect these things. What a time. Halloween was legendary.
Yeah, so fun.
So much shit happened around Halloween when you just look back in my life, at least. So many.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, college, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, right, dude. Morgantown Halloween. I know there's other places to talk about it. everybody was celebrating.
Yeah.
There's people that don't celebrate Halloween. I'm like, what fucking happened?
Crazy.
What happened?
Did you know that if you go to a Catholic school, the day after Halloween is always off? All Saints Day.
Brilliant. Some of these things are just
I didn't know
really
that.
smart.
Yeah.
Some of these. What's tonight though?
Oh.
No, last night. No,
tonight. Devil's Night.
Which started in
Detroit,
Michigan. Started tonight as Devil's Night, which I think. I don't know. The way we kind of viewed it as young, reckless teens was purge, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
Tonight we can kind of just go do whatever the fuck we want. Can't kill anybody, but
yeah.
I mean, we can certainly run a little
Murder
roughshod around
No
here.
rules aside from that.
Yeah, we can certainly do some stuff here. People are going to be on guard. Got to look for them.
Mhm.
There's going to be people waiting.
My old man used to sit on the front porch with a BB gun.
Bingo. Those are the guys you can't run into. Yeah, that'll get you. That'll be a bad Devil's Night.
That's all I'll be doing.
You don't want to hear those. You show up Halloween there in school. What happened? Mr. Maraldo. Nobody needs to be going there. Okay. Golly.
Maybe drink some in.
Yeah, Big Frank's out there with his boots and his gun. Yeah, those were good times, man. Halloween's a great holiday. And I appreciate Taylor Lewan celebrating this morning.
He did a great job.
That was great work. 6 different costumes. I texted Will Compton in the middle of this. I'm like, yo, just kind of let him do it. Like, I think it's kind of his, it was like his, because he did have.
Oh, yeah?
He had a hot dog in her.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. Long-haired biker guy. I think
it was supposed
from
to be,
Tim Robinson?
I believe that was supposed to be Macho Man.
Yeah.
Savage?
Or Hulkster. I forget which one. Yeah.
It was supposed to be Macho Man. He actually apologized for the low quality of it later.
Holy fuck, man. Okay, that was the first one too, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, right out the gate.
Oh, no. Should have.
Can't be having to explain
dogs
what you
the
are
best.
right out the jump.
He had good. This is Captain.
Yeah, Captain Taylor Lewis.
Yeah. I think that was a good one. He was a pirate. Referee, great one. Obviously, average Joe's is good. These are good. Great Will.
Yeah.
Will we see? Yeah, these are all good.
Oh, no.
Great cost. The first one was.
It was supposed to be Macho Man.
Oh, I didn't know that. I wasn't watching at the time. I only saw the picture. Okay, I see it.
Do you?
7
Yeah, I missed it.
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't know if he even tried to do that.
Smart.
He
I'm
may
thankful.
have, but
This is what we're talking about here. Hey, good effort, though.
Yep.
Good effort. I like that he did it. I appreciate it. He loves Halloween. They got the spooky, he's all in on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I really respect it. I do. Halloween, good time, man. Also, NFL teams all gathering.
Yes.
You can learn a lot about team Halloween party. That's a good time. Middle of season check here. You know, you talk about like draft day or their like birthday party, the whole conversation about that with that quarterback coming out. It's like team check here. Halloween, how's it checking out? Which is why I think there were some punishments that were levied upon certain teams. During COVID, whenever you saw some teams gathering, it was like, oh, these boys really fucking like each other. Like, don't you think so, AJ? I think that we can really judge a team from that, I think.
Yeah, one of your.
Absolutely. If I'm a head coach right now, I would be questioning the guys the next day or afterwards. Hey, how'd it go? How was the Halloween party? You guys, anyone, was a bit of a runaway maybe? If you guys stayed, hopefully you stayed, you were safe, but I want you guys to have a good time together.
Also, who wasn't there? Can we talk about that?
Yeah. Yep.
Who was it? Trade deadline's next Tuesday.
Who's pouting? Who's pouting that didn't show up?
Trade deadline's Tuesday. So who just so we can get a nice little
send them out
of this entire.
Yep.
And I'm not saying you're getting traded because you're not at the Halloween party. Obviously, people have lives and families and shit like that. But on that note, if there is somebody that is not maybe playing as well and also not getting along with the boys, I'm not saying that's going to immediately leave to a trade, but it certainly wouldn't affect it.
Think about
it. It certainly wouldn't affect. And then there's some. I don't know, maybe not anymore. But there was an era of people making decisions about teams that didn't even think about whether or not these humans would get along or like each other or they like-minded. Like that is something that was happening for a little bit. Feels like we've kind of gone away from that from every gatekeeper we talk to, at least. AJ, don't you think?
Yeah, you'd hope so. They at least say they do. They at least claim that they're worried about the character and if the person, how they would fit in the locker room. I think the majority of the guys bringing people in absolutely do think about that. I don't think everybody does, but the majority do.
I think you have to. I think Halloween is a good thermometer. Because maybe you fucking, like cards, you give back to the whole team.
Yeah,
the whole team.
Good.
How many? There was no Halloween party? Who hosted a Halloween party? One of the trainers had a gather. Nobody on. What, the quarterback didn't even.
Oh, no.
Do we think your controversial guest held a Halloween party this year? He always does, right?
He does love Halloween.
He actually got into a little bit of a quagmire.
He did get into a bit of a quagmire.
Because his very public stance on which part of the entire jab he was on, certainly said, you're not allowed to gather around the others if that's how you're going to operate with your things inside your body.
Yeah. Was he right in the end of the day?
Well, listen, everybody's going to be right somehow. I don't know, but I think he certainly feels vindicated by a lot of things he has seen and read. Yeah.
Absolutely feels vindicated.
Yeah, but everybody's right, which goes back to you guys need a scoreboard over there. Okay, they need a scoreboard in politics. I don't know the world, okay, politics world well enough. I've gotten to the point now where I've gotten a chance to chat with people that have dabbled in that world, whether it's former teammates of mine going all the way in. Okay.
How's he doing?
Great now.
He's watching.
Yeah,
Good.
He's great now. But also, from different events that we've been at where we've had a quick interaction, maybe a quick pepper of a question. And I do utilize, I think people would say that are around me in these moments, I utilize this time with these people to ask questions that I assume most people would not ask. Like, I very much have oh, fuck, I don't know if I'm ever going to see this person again. Gotta get it out. Gotta get it out. So I've had a lot of those moments in the entirety. That world is just it feels like there's no winning, but also somehow there's no losing. I don't know how that even works. I don't know how that works. Everybody's spinning that they're saving the world, and everybody has somehow stats that they're saving the world. And if you have that, you're never going to get somebody to disagree or change their opinion. So I don't. They need a scoreboard, Age. They need a fucking scoreboard. Well, people say election day scoreboard, and it's like, yeah, but does everybody listen to that and pay attention?
Who's tallying? Who's tallying the scoreboard is the question. Who's putting the numbers up?
Yeah, and what's a point?
Yeah, because what's a great thing for one person and his whole group, the other group's going to come out and say you're killing babies. Like that's just how it works.
Yeah, there's always a very strong counter. There's always a very strong counter. What's that?
We need to elect a grand scorekeeper.
We need to appoint one, like Jeff Landry. We need to appoint one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to make a decision, but maybe the people that he puts together.
Who does everybody like?
Nick Saban.
Boom, Nick Saban. He'll keep score.
All right, one. Then they'll make a counter argument. Make that a half. You got no points. You lost points. Why'd you think about doing that? And that's part of the problem. As the counters start coming in. Oh, no, you're ruining the world. Oh, no, you're the worst person. And then this, oh, no, you're ruining. Yeah, but what about the good? We're not keeping score on that. We're talking about what the worst possible outcome could be here because that's probably inevitable. That's why we love what we have here in sports. All right. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. To the politician people, we appreciate your efforts if your efforts are pure and you're trying to make everything good.
Without a doubt.
Which we'll just assume you all are.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that's not true, we will assume and hope that that's the case. So we appreciate you all so much. Let's go ahead and get football and college sports figured out.
Yeah.
Because you guys sent that over to the NCAA. They're never going to get that done. Right, H?
No chance.
No chance. They're waiting on you guys. And then he said, well, why don't we meet? Yeah. That's what I think should happen.
Exactly.
And on that note, everybody should meet. Everybody should be meeting all the time. Let's be learning. Let's evolving. Let's work together.
Yeah.
Let's be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team.
Team.
Goodbye.